Across the UK, online and on DAB.
We are Talk.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.
Talk Radio.
So this is the thing, we're doing the show. I've spent the entire day, that's a lie, batting off flat earthers. It turns out it's a really big, insane thing. Here's the news.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I may go out tomorrow if I can borrow a coat to wear. Oh, I'd step out in style with my sincere smile and my dancing bear outrageous, alarming, courageous, and charming. Oh, who would think a boy and bear could be well accepted everywhere? Was just amazing how fair people can be. Seen at the nicest places where well-fed faces all stop to stare, making the grandest entrance of Simon Smith and his dancing bear. Their lovers, won't they defeat us, don't they? Oh, who would think a boy and bear could be well accepted everywhere? It's just amazing how fair people can be. Well, who needs money when you're funny? The big attraction everywhere will be Simon Smith and his dancing bear. Yes, Simon Smith and the amazing dancing bear.
Yes. Oh, man. Evening, this is Iain Lee, this is Talk Radio. So I have spent a significant portion of the day arguing is a strong word. Being entertained by, I don't really know what the right word is, but engaging with flat earthers. Now, if you were listening the other day, you will have heard Imran call in, who wanted to talk about flat earth and the earth being flat, and that it's not round, it's flat. And I put it up on my YouTube channel. I can't remember what my YouTube channel, it's either Mr. Iain Lee or The Real Iain Lee or one of those, I don't know, but it's on there. And I tweeted the YouTube link, and I edited it really badly because I was doing it in a rush. So the end is cut off. Sorry, and I wish I'd kept the end on, because the end is significant in that it gets quite tense, and then we kind of shake hands and make up. And I cut that last bit off completely by accident, because I was ripping it off of Matthew Stevenson's YouTube feed, where he puts the whole Periscope shows up if you want to go and have a look. And so, thank you for that, Matthew. And I just missed that last bit where it ends on a nice resolution, and that's kind of slightly annoying, and I think it's 0844 499 1000, by the way. I think it's kind of slightly tainted how some of the conversation has gone online today. But I tweeted that link, and someone replied something along the lines of, well done, you destroyed him there. And then a gentleman called DQ, aka PR Problems, said, I don't think so. And what began was a significant conversation about how a large number of people actually, genuinely think that the Earth is flat. That it's actually flat. Not round, flat. Now, you can't cite as evidence examples of pictures taken from NASA because NASA are part of the conspiracy, you see. NASA are part of the problem. So those photos, of course, are faked. And when you question why this will be done, it's all about power and control and keeping us in our place. I'm part of the problem, obvs, because I am mainstream media. I am MSM. I'm part of the problem. And I appreciate that. And I would say that, wouldn't I? Whatever I say, I would say that, wouldn't I? Because I'm mainstream media. Right. Okay. And then there was this other guy tweeting, evidence. He just kept filling up my timeline. So I'm used to him for a bit, but then I'm used to him. But he just kept posting evidence. And the evidence was this scientific experiment you can do with a candle and some tin foil. And also something about if the Earth was round, then Muslims praying wouldn't work. Or something like that. Anyway, I'm pretty convinced the Earth is round. I can sort of see the intellectual aspects of arguing against some of the evidence, questioning the evidence. I can see the intellectual pursuit of questioning some of the evidence. Why should we believe NASA? Why should we believe pictures that purportedly come from space? I tend to believe them, but I can understand that aspect of it and why you might, as the late, great Tommy Boyd once did, have a little bit of intellectual sport and argue against some of the evidence. But these people genuinely believe the Earth is flat. They think the Earth is flat. So it's something that we're going to keep coming back to, I think. One of the gentlemen I was talking to is hopefully going to come on next Thursday. I've DM'd him as he requested. I DM'd him as he requested and asked for his phone number, and he replied, "Well, I'm not going to give you my real number. Give me time to buy a throwaway phone." So that's kind of what we're dealing with. I'm just putting it out there. It's not going to be the focus of the show tonight. Hopefully we'll talk to this gentleman next Thursday. But I'm just kind of keen to keep this out there. Just kind of keen to keep this out there because I'm surprised that there are people that actually believe this. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. So you can call in about it if you want. And I say we welcome everybody. If you've got conspiracy theories or anything like that, you know, you're more than welcome. And people are saying online, oh, you're going to rip him apart. I'm not going to rip him apart. I mean, if he presents flimsy evidence, I will do my best to tear the evidence apart, but I'm not going to rip him apart. I'm kind of keen to hear the thinking behind it. What is going on behind it? Why someone is so adamant that the Earth is flat? That's more what I'm interested in. So it's not going to be an experiment in tearing him apart at all. Where would be the fun in that? 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Why am I talking about this at the start of the show? Well, because it's taken up a big chunk of my day. Because it means I've been back on Twitter again, which I didn't really want to do, but kind of, you know, I had to engage with these people. But it also kind of proves my thing that Twitter really does attract the fringes of society, quite often the nasty fringes, but in this case, the actual intellectual fringes. Anyway, if you've got any thoughts on that, 0844 499 1000. What else are we going to be doing tonight? Well, about 12:30, I'm going to, we're going to play the interview I recorded last week with Imani Coppola. Now, who's she? I genuinely think, Ed, Harry and Alan, stay there, I will come to you in a minute. 0844 499 1000. I genuinely think Imani Coppola is an actual bona fide genius, like a proper genius. She had a hit. Do you want to get that call back? She had a hit about 20 years ago, Legend of a Cowgirl. And then she went on to record a series of wonderful and diverse albums on her own, and also as part of a group, Little Jackie. And she's great. And I want to get her over here to the UK to do some shows. And I spoke to her about it, and I've spoken to her manager about it. I may have bigged myself up a little bit too much. Sorry, what's going on, Happy Cat? Look, people are being rude on there. Look, I may have bigged myself up a little bit too much when I was persuading the manager I could make this tour happen. But it would be kind of nice. So if anybody knows how to, like promote a tour, because I haven't got a clue. Now, the reason I say this on the air is because in another life, I interviewed Michael Nesmith of the Monkees, and I said to him, why don't you come and tour the UK? He says, I haven't been asked. And on the back of that interview, someone asked him to come and tour the UK, and he did. So I just wondered if there are any music promoters or anybody who has the experience that could help do it. 0844 499 1000. There's all that, and there's the usual crap. You can phone in about whatever you want. You know the score, guys. Yes? Alan, Ed, stay there. Coming to you after this. 0844 499 1000. Harry, what's wrong with your bloody phone? Charge your phone up. We're going to keep dialing you until we get you, you sod. Ed's on the line. Good evening, Ed.
Mr. Lee.
Mr. Ed.
Come in. Come in.
Thank you.
Come in.
Do you want me to take my shoes off?
No, leave your shoes on, please.
Thank you, Ed.
Come and sit down.
Okay, I'd rather stand.
No, I'd rather you sit.
I'm gonna stand.
If you're gonna behave like that, then we're not gonna go very far. It's been at least a week since our last meeting.
Yes.
It's about this time, end of your show last week, on Friday. We were discussing, I believe...
Well, it's Thursday today.
That's what I said, almost a week.
Almost.
We were discussing, I believe, your Twitter habits. Do you want to...
Oh, that was you, was it?
Do you want to have a seat now?
Yeah, I think I better.
I think you better. Okay, can I pour you a drink?
No, thanks.
That's white wine.
No. Get some tap water, please.
Oh, blimey. Hold on.
Yes.
Here you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Have a quick swig of that, because we need to cover...
Hang on a second.
A couple of points today, really. Right.
Delicious.
Yeah, okay.
Bit bitter.
We're here. Okay.
Edley.
Needless to say, we've been monitoring your progress, and I've heard you out in the waiting room chatting only tonight about being in contact with the Flat Earth Society on Twitter.
Yes, Mr. Ed.
You know.
Spit it out, Ed. Come on, you can do it. Spit it out. You're disappointed in me, Ed, aren't you?
I've got to say, I'm not disappointed in you, because I don't have a Twitter account, as you know. However, I have been monitoring your progress.
Yeah.
I've got to say, actually, I'm quite happy with the way you've gone in the last week.
Oh, thank you, Edley.
I've definitely seen a move more towards the bots, as we were describing, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
I appreciate that, and I like the fact you've taken on board our last session. This Flat Earth Society business, though.
Yes.
I mean, Is Twitter, you really can't communicate with these people using the means of email, letter,
Well,
fax?
they seem
Remember
to...
when we used to fax people?
Yes, fax it up. Yes, it does. Listen, I have been, Ed, I did, seriously, I considered your, what you said last week a lot, and I appreciate what you said.
I tell you what, I watched it, I watched the rerun on Twitter, on Periscope.
Yes.
And, yeah.
I did. I totally listened to it, and it came at exactly the right time. And for the majority of the last 6 days, I have adhered to your suggestions of backing away from
5
Twitter.
and 9/8.
Well,
but yeah.
But I have, and the times I've gone onto Twitter, I have been miserable. So you're right. But today's been a tough old day, Ed. And to self-medicate, not only have I eaten a load of old crap. Sorry? Are you crying?
No.
Okay. Not only have I eaten a load of old crap, I've also gone onto Twitter to try and make myself feel better. And oh, what a surprise, it hasn't worked at all.
That's the point. That was the point. That was all I was trying to hammer home, basically.
Yeah.
And in doing so, and on Friday I'll give it to you, if we're doing the free-for-all, the last hour, I used to have a mate who worked for Chrysalis, recorded my first call.
Oh, really?
To you in year one of LBC for sure.
Yes.
And he emailed me the call because he was working in the office, and obviously I came over the airwaves. He was on the phone to me. Was that you? And I found it by accident. So.
Well, Lesby Avenue, 69 Lesby Avenue.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yes.
It's weird hearing yourself a decade in the past, as you've probably, when people play you stuff, but hearing myself a decade in the past, oh, sweet Jesus.
Yes. It is a weird phenomenon. And I bet you sound higher, don't you?
I sound higher, I sound angrier.
Yeah. Oh.
If it's possible.
Yeah.
If it's possible.
Yeah.
And I sound 10 years younger, but 10 years ago, no one could have told me anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
We're all
different people now, 10 years down the line.
Yeah, but when I was associating with people 10 years older than me, 10 years ago, I was like, you can't tell me anything. I know everything. Play the magic trick. How old am I? There you go, because I've been on the phone plenty of times and you've never pulled your trick on me, and I know it's difficult. Go on.
You're 38.
You're bang on the money, mate.
I told you, I'm good at this, aren't I?
You are good, but it has taken you a little bit of
I had to assess. I had to assess all of the data, as Ash would say. I've assessed all of the data.
That would take me back to 28, and I tell you what, I was invincible. I was armour-plated.
Well, I was 33, and I was invincible then, and now I'm plagued with self-doubt, and it's interesting. And do you know what, Ed? You pose an interesting little theme that I'm going to put out there to the other listener, just to try and think back to where you were. I don't necessarily mean physically where you were. I mean emotionally and spiritually where you were 10 years ago, because it's a lifetime ago, and it's gone like that, hasn't it?
Oh, and the more it goes, the faster it goes.
Well, that's relativity, isn't it?
Well, it's all percentages. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
And every summer clocks round a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And when you miss that week of good weather,
have we had it yet?
You think you've had I think we have. I think we have. You think that was a rubbish summer, but when you were 7, that week of nice weather was 3 months.
But that is genuinely, that is Einstein's theory of relativity. It's it's percentages. So when you're 7, a week is a much smaller percentage of your existence than it is now. Now it's a much bigger percentage. Sorry, bigger percentage than it is now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the sooner people appreciate that about childhood, the better, really.
But the only people that can appreciate that about childhood are kids.
Are the adults?
Well, no, kids will never appreciate it at all.
No, not at the time, but it's only that passage through time that gives you that appreciation, isn't it?
Someone famously said, "Youth is wasted on the young," and bloody hell, ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ed,
Right, you've had your therapy, off you go, but I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm watching you.
All right, tatty
I'm
bye.
watching you.
Tatty bye.
No silly business, no
sir.
silly business.
No. Thank you.
Good.
Goodbye.
Good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's an interesting point, isn't it? Try and imagine... No, not imagine. That's the incorrect word, you muppet. Try and remember where you were 10 years ago. I don't mean where you physically were, although that might be a good place to start. 0844 499 1000. That might be a good place to start because that might trigger some memories, right? Try and remember where you were emotionally and spiritually 10 years ago. Different. I mean, where was I? 10 years ago, literally, I was working at LBC. Had I split up with Tessa then, who I've been going out with for 8 years? I don't know if we'd split up yet, or if we were about to. Maybe we had. So I was miserable. I was miserable. So nothing changes. Huh? 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. We call you back. Good evening, Alan. Oh, he's not fallen asleep, has he? Yes, he has. Bloody hell. Alan! Oh, jeez. How is this even possible? Alan!
Hip, hip, hip.
Whoa!
Sorry.
What happened there?
A bit of a delayed reaction.
Well, a little bit of a snory reaction, if you ask me.
So I was looking at the radio figures.
No, you weren't. You were asleep.
I had a mental picture of the radio figures.
Right, okay, but you were snoring, were you, when you look at the radio figures? I know I do.
Sorry.
It's all right, don't apologise, but don't lie about it. You fell asleep.
Again.
It's
been the third time.
Yep. That's got to be a world record. What you got for us, Big Al?
Oh, look, I was looking at the radio figures today.
Oh, yeah.
And it's good for set up to talk radio.
It's more than I expected. It's
24,000.
Yeah, a little bit more than I expected, a lot more than I expected. But I still came away yesterday feeling disappointed. I've had a chat with my boss. I don't know what the breakdown for the show is yet. I'm going to find out on Monday. I'm probably going to keep it under my hat. But yeah, there's a sense of, for me, the boss is very happy, so that's great. That's great news. There's a sense for me of slight disappointment and underwhelmed. I'm underwhelmed.
Yeah.
But these things happen. We'll just. And this morning, here's the thing, Alan. This morning, I did, with the figures and with, I saw some snarkiness online. I did question whether I am doing, 0844 499 1000, by the way, if you want to call in. We call you back. I did question whether I'm doing the right thing with this show.
Yeah.
I don't know if this show is, I don't know I'm trying to tread carefully around my language. I don't know if this show is working, Alan.
So it needs a bit of tweaking.
Well, I don't know if it needs tweaking or if it is completely flawed and needs to be destroyed and rebuilt.
Right. So like a refurbishment.
Complete refurbishment. Knock out the bathroom and put a new one in, but the bath will be in a different place. That's if I even have a bath.
Could have a wet room.
Could have a wet room. The thing is, right, the station that I mock constantly, LBC.
The Hopkins station.
The Hopkins station is doing really, really well. It's got the biggest figures it's ever had in its 43-year history, right? So they must be doing something right.
That's only because they've gone national.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's still primarily in London, but yeah. But they got huge figures, and Steve Allen, a man I absolutely detest, has got huge figures, and I don't know what the figures are for the late night show, but I'm sure they're huge. I mean, they're figures I could only dream of, right? So they must be doing something right, or is it just that it's the bland leading the bland? You know, Dermot O'Leary, really nice guy
on Radio 2.
Yeah, really nice guy, right? And really successful in terms of TV presentation. He's going to be doing the X Factor again.
Coming back.
But I personally, and I know him, he's a nice bloke, but I personally think his television presentation style is very, very bland. And yet he will get millions of viewers and millions of pounds. And it's that thing, isn't it? That people like bland.
It's the sublime leading the sublime.
It's the sublimed leaving the sublimed. So I don't know, Alan. So it has got me questioning. I need Kath here to kind of, help sort a few things out and stuff.
Where's she gone?
I don't know where she's gone. She's coming back on Monday. And I did it in that high-pitched shout because while I was saying that, I let one out. I was able to do that. Do you ever do that? You talk quite loudly and sharply so that you can drop one.
I don't know.
Okay, that's interesting. So, I don't know, Alan. I'm just questioning. I've got a week coming up. Week off coming up soon.
Who's covering?
I haven't got a clue, mate. I haven't got a clue. I know who's.
It might be Jake.
I know Jake's up in Edinburgh, so it won't be Jake.
Could be Galloway.
I don't know. Honestly, I've got no idea who it is. I know who's going to be doing some cover shifts on some other shows.
Go on.
Not allowed to say.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so I'm not allowed to say. So I wouldn't say. But I just don't know, Alan. Maybe this kind of show, this kind of late night show where not a lot happens, isn't what people want. I don't know. I mean, I can be and you know me, Alan. I'm more honest than a lot of other presenters, and I'm certainly more honest than perhaps I should be.
Yeah.
Got no other callers lined up.
So we're just chewing the fat.
So we're just chewing the fat. But when you go, and you will have to go soon because I'm a minute 16 late for an ad break, right? If no one calls in, which they might not, it's just me sat here talking for the next 2.5 hours. We've got Imani Coppola on later on, but, you know, and it's just got me thinking, and I do need Kath to kind of, to bat some ideas around with.
Did you see James Whale in Big Brother?
Is he still in there?
Yep, he's up for eviction.
Yeah, him and, Grant both. I reckon Grant will be the one that gets kicked out.
Yeah, we need to keep Whale in.
Well, I don't know about that.
I think he's going to win it.
No, James Whale is not going to win Big Brother.
Who do you reckon then?
I reckon. Do you know what? I reckon it'll be Sam Fox.
I'm thinking it might be either Sam Fox or Biggins.
Yeah, everyone's saying Biggins. I reckon Sam Fox. If I were you, I'd go and splash out 20 quid on Sam Fox.
Well, I usually get 20p to get a picture of Sam in the paper.
There you go, you see. And congratulations to the Daily Star for reminding us of Sam's biggest hits. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. 0844 499 1000. Can I ask a favour? We've got lots of people on Periscope, getting really big Periscope audiences at the moment, which is great, including someone from Grand Rapids in the United States of A, which is awesome. If you're watching on Periscope and you've got it on your computer, could you just go and open up the window, talkradio.co.uk, and click the stream? It just helps. Just helps my figures, and it's all beautiful, man. So thank you very much for that. And if you want to go and watch on Periscope, periscope.tv/Iain Lee. Let's go to Andrew. Evening, Andrew.
Hip, 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 Ian. How are you?
Hip, hip, Andrew. What you got for us, boss?
I've been inspired. I've booked a ticket for the Monkeys at the Plantages in Los Angeles.
Hey, flipping it. What? Hang on a minute. Do you live in America?
No, my dad does. I'm going over there for his 70th.
Well, you know who's playing. You know who's playing, don't you?
all of them, apart from the one that's not alive.
Yeah, the tour at the moment is just Mickey and Peter, but Nesmith is playing that concert.
Well, I'll report back from it.
You jammy...
If possible, I'll try and speak to you.
You jammy git!
Well,
I think he's playing that one. I did look up, when I heard he was, I think it's that one he's playing. It's only playing a couple. When I heard that he was going to be playing that concert, I did look at the airfares and the hotel fares and all of those kind of things, and then I just thought, no, my wife would kill me if I went. But, you're going to have an awesome time. Why does your dad live over there?
I don't know. He moved over there. He's a journalist. He was at the Sunday Times for many years. He now does the obituaries.
Oh.
So he moved over there because he likes the weather, and my brother's over there as well. He works in advertising.
Beautiful.
So he lives in Pasadena, and the ticket for the Monkeys is £60.
Hey, that's
$83.
That's not bad, is it? That'll do.
No, and it's in the orchestra, which is what they call the stalls.
Is there much? Can you? Right, I'm going to ask a question that might sound rude, and honestly, I don't mean it to. It's genuine. Can your dad make a living just from writing obituaries?
No, it's sort of in journalism, as far as I'm aware. I'm not. It's the kind of graveyard of journalism.
Literally,
it's what you do once you finish your specialisation. So
okay.
He did financial for 40 years, and the reason he did that was he told me, he said, because it's the boring journalism.
Yeah.
But if you get into it, it can be quite lucrative. But what people want to do, they want to do the hard news reporting or the film reviewing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he went into financial journalism because not a lot of people really want to do it, but it's a way of getting into a specialisation. So he's been doing that for 30, 40 years. He's been on most national papers, so he's done quite well for himself, I assume.
You've just highlighted what must be, and this isn't reference to your dad, what must be the dossiest job in the world, right? The professional film reviewer. What is that?
I did it for 6 years, Ian.
Did you?
Yeah, I was on the Morning Star for 6 years.
Hey, the socialist paper?
Yep.
Oh, Feb, what films were they reviewing, like normal films?
They do. You had to have a kind of you had to have a socialist bent, yes. And if you didn't, they got really knocked off with it.
What the films had to have a socialist bent, or your review of mainstream films had to be written in a socialist way?
Bit of both.
Wow.
If they didn't like it, they'd reject the review.
And you made a living out of doing that?
No, I didn't. I got paid £50 a week.
Oh, well, there you go. But, I mean, as jobs go, who's that fella? Mark Commode. I mean, blimey. Because here's the thing, guys. You don't have to pay to go and see the films. You get free tickets to go and see the films, then you just have to write about the films. That's brilliant.
Yeah, you see them in very, very rarefied places like private screening rooms, and you usually get fed, and the lady who speaks to you, the PR girl is usually quite pretty, and so there's this kind of subliminal bribe there, because it's usually old middle-aged men who go to this.
They make it. I've been to a few. I'm on a couple of lists. I was on a couple of lists. I'm trying to get back on those lists. It's kind of a very nice private cinema. Hey, yeah. I don't do events, right? I don't go to events. I don't do events, right? I never have done, right? But I got an invite for one today, an email. And my agent sent it to me, and he said, I assume this will be a no. And I looked at it, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to say yes to this. I am going to the premiere on Wednesday of next week of the David Brent movie.
With Scott Balcony.
You saw the Twitter. T-shirt manufacturer and the mayor of Uxbridge, Mr. Scott Balcony himself. He's my +1. And we're going to go to the premiere. And I'm guessing it's in Leicester Square. I don't know where it is. But it's a proper red carpet affair. And Gervais and his band will be playing. Then you sit down and you watch the film. And then I have to dash off at 9:30 so I can make it back here, Cinderella. And it's a proper red carpet premiere. And me and Scott Balcony, I think we'll walk down the red carpet holding hands, so he looks like he's my partner. Well, we've both got wedding rings. We'll look like we're married. That's what we'll do. But I'm going to go, because A, I quite fancy seeing the film, and B, I haven't done a premiere ever. Have I done a premiere ever? I don't think I've done a movie premiere, no.
They're good, and what I used to do apart from reviewing is I was a manager of the Odeon West End, so I looked at the flip side of it, so we did we were doing the premiere, we were organising the premieres.
Yeah.
So I saw the other side of it, so you do get a lot of famous people. They don't watch the film. The famous people walk in, do their bit at the front of the stage, and then go off for a dinner, usually somewhere else. But they never stay for the film.
Oh, so are you suggesting that if I want to up my cachet ever so slightly, I should sneak out the back door once the adverts start?
No, because I'm sure you and Ricky Gervais have got a lot to talk about.
Oh, me and Ricky. When Ricky spies me, he'll stop everything. Ian, come over here. Let's talk about the time I sat in your dressing room, and you were giggling because I was waving the wooden Venetian blinds and going, "Ooh, snaky lady, snaky lady." Actually, the funniest thing I've ever seen him do was he was sat in my dressing room, wiggling the wooden Venetian blinds and just singing, "Ooh, snaky lady, snaky lady." I was in hysterics. So that's what's going to happen. Andrew, listen, thank you very much for that. Good to talk. I myself am deeply jealous of you going to the United States to see the monkeys. 0844 499 1000. We call you back. Ray, Dan, Cat, don't move. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's go to Claire. Good evening, Claire.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Claire. What you got for us, boss?
Well, I've got a song for you, but would you like to talk a little bit about music first?
Yeah,
Just
go
a little
on.
bit?
Yeah, go on.
So, you know you're on iTunes, and you've always had iPhones and all of that version of stuff. I've got Spotify, and I wondered if there's an equivalent on iTunes of the related artists, because I found so many cool bands in the related artist section, and I don't know if your iTunes, because I've never had an iPhone, has that a similar...
related artists?
Yeah, so if I'm listening to, say, the Unicorns, it will give me a whole range of artists that are similar to them, and they're quite weird. So if you think about it, you can come up with some really random stuff. So let me play you a song, and this might not work, but I'm going to hold my phone next to the speaker.
Yeah.
Experimental. Let's go.
Here we go.
All right, I know 17 seconds is a long time on the radio. Did that work?
That worked, yeah, we heard that. Racket, yes.
You can hear it properly. They're called Harlem, and that's called Friendly Ghost, and I found that just by searching related artists to things that I know that I like. I've got it written down here. Just a second. Icy Iceland, the Fiery Furnaces. Someone rang you up the other day and mentioned them to you. Yeah. And, I wanted to tell you to go and listen to them because they're really, really cool. I don't mind your J-pop sometimes. And if you're going to listen to weird electro, weird music like that, then, definitely go and listen to the Fiery Furnaces.
All right. I'm always reluctant to try new bands because it can be quite hard work.
But the problem with new bands is people tell you that you're going to like stuff.
Yeah, oh man, and that's the worst thing.
What I like about the related artist section in Spotify, when I find something I really like, regardless of whether I think anyone else will like it, I'll go and look at who's like them. And at the moment, I really like Australian female singers, and the amount of them is huge. So you have to be quite careful, and you have to be quite specific. But like I say. Also, what I've been listening to quite recently is Russian surf guitar music.
Russian surf guitar music?
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they're called Gulag tunes or something like that. They're very interesting.
Do you know the... it's the only Russian band I know.
The one with the potatoes and the weird suits?
Yeah, the ones with the big quiffs.
What are they called? I can't remember for the life of me. I've been thinking about these guys for a couple of weeks.
And I'm going down my
There's
iTunes.
a documentary or a weird, biopic.
There's a weird biopic. They made a couple of films, I think. The Leningrad Cowboys!
That's what I remember about them, is that their tour managers, their producers made them eat raw potatoes.
Yeah, we go. Hang on a second. Indulge me.
I think about you, they can fly, it's only right. så synker bamsing I all you love and don't be a time so carry together.
If I should call you up in just a time and you say you belong to me and ease my mind, imagine how the world could be so very kind, so happy together.
I'm singing along inside.
I don't really play around with iTunes. I just like the way it's set out because I'm used to it because I've been using it for the last 10 years. But isn't Genius like that? Doesn't Genius recommend? You won't know, mate. Someone will know. Hang on.
I don't know what that one is. No. Well,
but that's a feature on iTunes.
iTunes and Spotify to get your music on. But what I would say to you is. I know.
No, but that's a feature on iTunes. Genius.
Is that what it... There you go. See, I've never had iTunes, so I don't know. You explore a little further into your app, you come up with some of these amazing bands. So recently I've been listening to the weird Russian surfing music, and Leningrad Boys. Thank you very much, because I've been... dying to find out what their name was. I like Google Bordello. They're not from Russia. I think they're from Ukraine. But I quite like the folk music side of it. So recently I've been listening to the Long Tall Texans. And on Spotify, you can see how many times people have listened to the song. Like on YouTube, you can see how many times people have watched the video.
Oh, yeah.
And so anything with under 10,000 listens is a bit like, you feel a little bit privileged and a little bit special because not everybody knows this. So there are some wonderful... bands and artists out there that play with such passion, and if they're into the same music that you listen to, there's a song I would have made you, but it would have made you use the dump button because it's called "What Part of Bleep Off Don't You Understand?" And as a fellow Twitter, what's the word?
Hater.
Not being a hater. Well, I'm not a hater, I just won't use it because I don't understand it, and I don't like things that I don't understand. I don't like people coming all up in my face, and so that's why I won't have Twitter.
Yeah.
And I understand your pain.
I hate it. I hate Twitter. Where was I was going to go, and I've completely lost my train of thought because I'm trying to look at iTunes and I'm trying to work something out on there. I like it on Shazam. If I can Shazam something, Shazam that recognises music, right? Songs.
Yeah.
If I can find a song that's never been Shazammed before, because it tells you how many times it's been Shazammed. So if I'm the first person,
you've got a bit of kudos.
Oh yes, it's a double bubble. Double bubble.
If I could tweet, I'd tweet you songs, but that would be pointless because you don't.
Exactly. Don't click on links.
So,
never click on links.
Yeah, there you go.
Claire, nice to talk to you.
I would, but you don't.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Nice to talk to you, Claire. Thanks for calling.
Ta-ta.
Take care. Ta-ta. Bye-bye. There we go. She was delightful, wasn't she? 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Yes, Dan.
G'day.
Hello, Dan.
G'day, it's Rupert. Been looking at the figures, Ian.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, a little bit concerned.
Uh-oh.
I was looking into some things that we have going on there.
Yeah.
3.7 hours average listening.
Yeah.
Your show's only 3 hours long.
Oh. Huh?
What are we putting out for that other 0.7 of an hour?
Well, you see, this is interesting.
No, I don't want any excuses.
No.
So what's your excuse?
Oh, well, it's interesting.
No, I don't want no excuses.
Okie dokie.
What's your excuse?
It's a podcast.
Right. So who pays for this podcast?
Well, no one pays for it. It's free.
What?
It's free.
No. You're talking out of here, aren't you?
You went a bit cockney there, Rupert.
I know, I'm sorry. It's been a long, long day.
It's stressful, I know. It's stressful.
I know. These things are getting to me. But, Ian, I want to see your name up in lights.
Oh, really? That'd be great. Yeah, I'd love that. Thank you.
Yeah, the cleaner's off and the bulb's gone out.
Oh, you flippin' heck. Let's go to Kat. Evening, Kat.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Kat. You're right.
Yeah, sorry, wasn't ready then.
Do you want me to do it again? Hang on.
Yeah.
Let's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go to Kat. Good evening, Kat.
Good evening.
Oh, you sounded prepared.
I was. I knew that was going to happen.
Good. What you got for us, Kat?
Just about this sort of 10 years ago thing you were talking about
yes,
earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was going on
I was
10 years
having
ago?
I was loaded.
Oh.
Good job.
Wow.
Out all the time. So you can tell it's not the same now.
Yeah.
So, but I wasn't fulfilled.
Yeah.
So, monetary-wise, I was okay. I had a lot of things that I wanted, 2 cars and things. And then I had a stroke a year later.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Got over that.
Yeah.
And then now I'm 30, which is a big shock for everyone. And I think I'm more fulfilled now, but I'm broke.
Well, I was going to say, with less money...
With less money.
Well, you say you think you're more fulfilled.
Yeah.
You don't sound sure.
I don't know yet. There could be more, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's tough, isn't it? Kind of, there must be people who are happy with their lot and, never question anything and just are like, yeah, this is where I am, this is what I've got, and that's brilliant. And I can't imagine being like that.
No, because that's not normal, really. You always want better for yourself, better for your family, and to improve yourself, surely.
But if one always wants better, then one is never satisfied, and then,
One is a woman, so this is natural anyway.
Well, hang on a minute. Why is it more natural for a woman and not for a man?
Men seem more sort of happy just to, the men that I've been with,
Yeah.
seem very happy sort of just to exist and plod along and, not to say that they don't want more from life, but they're quite happy and contented. But
or are they just better at just kind of, fronting it out that they're, they're happy with everything and they're okay?
Well, they're doing very well at pretending.
Well, yeah, there must be. Because I would say the same about women. It is my perception that hey guys, guess what? We're generalising here.
I know.
Just for those people who think the Earth is flat. We've got to fill in the blanks. It is my perception that women seem more content and more able to be satisfied with what little they have in their lives.
No. I'm probably speaking for me and a few of my friends, but I don't know. It's difficult. I think it's how you grew up as well.
Yeah.
We were quite well off until my parents split, and then we struggled quite a lot. So now, in my head, I want to provide more for my daughter than I had.
And you don't mean material things?
No, but I want her to have a good education. Yeah. I want her to not have to worry about things like we went to school with holes in our shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is materialistic, but not in I've got to buy her a car or whatever when she hits 18. But
how come you were so loaded at 20?
I was working a hell of a lot.
Flippin' heck.
I was a mental health advisor, so I had quite a lot.
Raking in, not the pink pound. What would it be? Raking in the crazy dollar. I'm going to invent a new phrase: the crazy dollar. It's like the pink pound, but it's a bit more nuts.
But yeah, slightly nuts.
And the stroke kind of, did the stroke stop all that, or did after the stroke, did you have one of those questioning everything moments?
Well, I was properly out of it for about 6 months. I don't remember 6 months after the stroke.
Blimey.
And then went through intense physiotherapy, speech therapy, which people probably wish I hadn't had because I don't shut up now.
Oh, yes,
yeah, there we go. But then stuff slowed down and you start to doubt yourself because you're not as confident as you were, not sort of as thin as I was because I let myself go.
Don't say let yourself go, because that's that kind of implies that no care whatsoever has been taken. But it's just getting older. We get bigger as we get older.
Well, except if you're my mum, she's tiny still and I hate her guts.
My mum was, turns out my mum was a speed freak in the 70s. She was being prescribed, loads of diet pills. And so for the 70s and because you could get prescribed them. So for the 70s and the 80s, she was like buzzing around all the time doing all this stuff. It turns out she was on speed from Dr. Mason of all people. It was a lovely old doctor.
I need this.
Well, this is it. I'm doing. Kat, I've got to move on because I'm coming to break. But I'm doing a TV show on the 20th, right? And I'm kind of thinking, and I'm putting on a bit of weight, and it's not shifting. I want some of the pills that Elvis had in the 70s, because when Elvis was going to do a tour, he'd just neck loads of pills for 2 weeks, and all the weight would drop off. Kat, thank you very much for that. Of course, I don't really, but I do. Leslie, Callum and Ray. Ray, you'll be first. You've been waiting for a while. We'll come to you after the news. If you want to call in, now's an excellent time to call in. 0844 499 1000. We call you back. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
Yes. So, where were you spiritually and emotionally 10 years ago? Is the Earth flat? And anything else you fancy, really? You know the drill. 0844 499 1000. We call you back. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, there you go. Very quiet in here for some reason. I don't know why. That's Imani Coppola, who's going to be on a little bit later on. An hour and a half-ish, thereabouts. She'll be coming on. It's pre-recorded, which is good because she's got a very, very potty mouth. Very potty mouth. Oh, I see what's happened. Something my computer's doing all... There we go. My computer's all gone to cock. And that's all fine. It doesn't matter. Ray!
Good evening.
Hip, 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 Ray!
Hippity, hip, hip, hip.
What you got for us, boss?
That caller you had on Claire talking about Spotify and iTunes, you did miss a trick. You should have had her do a prod because that's some pair of lungs she's got on her.
Yes, well, okay.
Okay, and you're saying that your show, you feel it's in need of a reboot?
No. I said I am questioning it.
Is that because of a certain person from Cockford?
No. It's not really. It's because of my disappointment in the figures. Even though I don't know what the figures for the show are, it's a little bit to do with that, but not really to do with the post on the Facebook page. And it's just yesterday I sank down, and today I couldn't get back up, and I do question as to whether this type of show is any good, because LBC is getting millions of listeners and I'm not. And
well, yeah, I mean, there it's formulaic, it's bland. The presenters are largely right wing, the listeners too. But we've got that coming out of every bleeding station.
But if I was bland, I often look what I kind of started out a similar time to Dermot O'Leary. In fact, I started out a bit before Dermot O'Leary and Vernon Kay. And who are both absolutely delightful gentlemen, right? But they have learnt how to stand in front of a camera and be invisible. And I've never tried to do that. Every time I stand in front of a camera, I won't on Channel 5, guys, I promise. Every time I stand in front of a camera, I have to do a cheeky wink to the camera. I have to do a comical aside. I have to twat around.
Yeah, you have to give it the old ee.
Yeah, well, kind of. And and I know my TV career is over now. I've got that, and that's groovy. But if I'd have learnt to shut up and do as I was told, then I'd be a millionaire. Now, literally, I'd be a millionaire now.
The thing is, would you be content though?
Yes. If I was a millionaire, right, I'd probably still be miserable, but I'd have millions of pounds.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a mortgage. I'd have a place in Spain I could go to. I'd go out there for weekends and I'd come back Monday afternoon, come straight in here. Yeah, the caller Cat we spoke to earlier on, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it sure makes being miserable a lot easier.
Well, yeah, you can pay your way, but I don't know. Yeah, you can have a lot but still be, downright miserable.
I have to, when I drive into work, I have to try and arrange my meetings here at work because it's in the congestion zone, that the meetings are after 6:30, so that I can reach the edge of the congestion zone at 6 o'clock to save myself 11 quid. Yeah. And if I drive through the congestion zone too many times in a week, I'm thinking, oh man, I might, I'm rushing back to car parks to make sure I don't go into the third hour, so I can save myself a couple of quid. I don't want to be living like that.
Oh, no. Well, that's largely a London thing. I'm glad I've left all that behind.
London parking. When I was doing the show in Three Counties, and for those that know, it was Beds, Hearts and Bucks. It was a BBC local breakfast show. And we're beating all the BBC local stations, so in your face, Laura. And we would do every 3 months, we'd have to do a story about parking charges in Milton Keynes going up by 10 pence.
Yeah,
10 pence.
wow.
And I'd be like, they should try parking in London for a day. You could get. I found a really sweet place where it's 13 quid all day, and it's just outside the congestion zone, and I'm not saying where it is because I don't want you lot to know. But you park in Soho, that's 25 quid. That's 25 quid gone for 4 hours.
Yeah, and they take your car for a spin.
Yeah, exactly. So no to whatever I was saying no to.
No. Yeah. But if there's one thing that's going to help this station with the ratings, I mean, most of all, getting it on FM or AM there's not much hope of that.
No, never going to happen.
It on Sky,
never going to happen. Well, no, it's not going to happen because you've got to pay for that. And also, I don't think that would have a massive impact on listeners because not many people listen to the radio on Sky or Freeview.
Yeah.
It's a really small number of people. So for the financial investment that it would cost, it would have a very limited return.
Right. Because, how else do we get, increase the ratings?
Well, I've got a few ideas, Talk Radio, like, I don't know, having some advertising somewhere. It's just an idea.
Yes. Oh, yeah, poster adverts,
It's just an idea. I don't know, but maybe I have got it all wrong, and maybe this. I'm following my trend of everywhere I go, I raise my listener figures. That's a fact. That's always happened.
Yeah, you certainly do that.
Yeah, but maybe, you know, if I had the millions of pounds, you sound like you want to be Andrew Castle. Better to be poor than a right-wing twat, says Peter in Glasgow. Pass the parcel with Andrew Castle, of course. I don't want to be that. I don't know what I want to be. I want to be successful. I want to be happy. I want to be adored. I was watching a documentary about the Stone Roses before I came on the air this evening.
Oh, yes.
I don't really know much about the Stone Roses, and I'm not a massive Stone Roses fan.
Yeah.
But I found this documentary quite interesting. They're a strange-looking band. John Squire's quite, and I say this with respect, right? He's quite nerdy and geeky. The guitarist, he's quite quiet and geeky and nerdy.
Yeah.
And I always thought he'd be very loud and brash, and he seems to be like a very shy gentleman.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way with these rock bands.
With these rock bands, thank you, Ray. It's just these rock bands. They do seem to be like that sometimes. It was the Shane Meadows documentary about the Stone Roses, and the reason I started watching it is because I was reading a book and someone mentioned it, and now I can't remember what the book was, and I was desperately trying to think what the book was. Anyway, this Shane Meadows is good, isn't he? He's made some good films. Did he make Dead Man Walking? Was that him? I know it's got Paddy Considine in it, who is a brilliant actor. Did Shane Meadows direct that as well? That's a good film. And then didn't him and Paddy Considine do that really funny film about the roadies? Which was brilliant. Le Donk or something. It was really funny. Really funny. So that's my movie recommendation. Dead Men's Shoes, that was it. That was good? Was that him? Those are my recommendations. Anything with Paddy Considine or directed by Shane Meadows. I hope you enjoyed that review. Callum!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip!
Yeah,
I'm alright. How you doing, Callum?
Not so bad, thanks.
Now, what are you? You're a Starship Trooper, is that it?
White Atlantic Wizard.
White Knight Wizard. Do you believe the Earth is flat or round?
People who believe it's flat must be bonkers. I live in Sheffield, it's got 7 hills. Why don't they travel walking around Sheffield every now and then?
Exactly, you see. And if flat earthers, if Callum's telling you you're bonkers, you better sit up and take notice. What you got, Callum?
About your show, I think it's brilliant. I tune in because it's off the wall, it's random, you don't know what you're going to get next. It's better than in morning. I don't mind Paul Ross, but Juliet Brewer's a bit boring.
Who's a bit boring? Juliana Brewer. Well,
it's too formulaic.
She blocked me on Twitter, so I have blocked her on my radio as a direct result of that, because I am a 15-year-old schoolgirl. Callum, listen, that's very kind of you, and I've not called, and I do think Talk Radio, let me put this diplomatically, is diverse in its range of opinions and shows, much more so than a lot of other stations. BBC, it has to be impartial and neutral. LBC is generally quite right-wing with a couple of huge exceptions. And to Talk, it's all over the shop, and that's brilliant because of that. But I've not put this out there because, hang on a second. Just blocking people on Twitter, on Facebook. Not Facebook, what do they call it? Periscope. I'm not putting this out there because I want people to phone and go, "Oh, the show's brilliant. We love the show," and all that. I don't, because I know that some people love the show, and I know that some people think the show is brilliant and stuff like that. But I do when you're doing something, I'm going to say artistic, but maybe that sounds pretentious. because perhaps this applies to other areas of life as well. But when you're doing something and it's kind of just you, and it's just me and Kath, really. We've got Emma and Ed who are doing a brilliant job this week, but it's primarily me and Kath that drive this show, right? When you're doing something and you're out there on your own or with one other person, and it is different from everything else that is going on, you know, you're bucking the trend, you end up questioning yourself a lot and questioning whether what you're doing is the right thing. And I'm having one of those wobbles where I don't know if what I am doing is the right thing. So, I appreciate what you're saying, Callum. Thank you. And I'm glad that we get callers like you, and we've got Leslie and we've got Gatford calling in. Oh, Gatford. Oh. I'm glad that we get callers like you and Leslie calling in. And we tolerate callers like Gatford. I thought Gatford was dying in hospital, Callum, if I'm completely honest. Let's find out if, hang on. Gatford, are you dead yet?
No, sorry.
Are you still in hospital?
No, I'm home now.
Oh, unbelievable. What bad luck for everybody. Never mind. We'll get to her later. But I appreciate your kind words, Callum. So thank you very much for that. Are you a fan of the Stone Roses?
A little bit. My brother's a bigger fan. I'm more Elvis, so I'm an Elvis man.
Yeah, nice bit of Elvis Presley. What's your favourite period of Elvis?
Early 70s.
Yeah.
A lot from Hawaii and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is, isn't that?
What's that song? I just can't help believing.
Even when she has
my hand feels so small and helpless, and my fingers fold around like a glove. I just can't help believing when she feels the magic, and her heart is feeling hot and sweet with love. This time the girl, you be the singing backing singers, right? This time the girl is gonna stay.
This time the girl is gonna stay.
This time the girl is gonna stay.
For more than just a day.
That was spot on. That was spot on, Callum. Me and you. I wonder if there's ever been. You got your Chinese Elvis, you got your Sikh Elvis, you got your Mexican Elvis, you've got Elvez, you've got all your fat Elvises. I wonder if there's ever been an Elvis duet where it's two people trading Elvis lines, because we could do that, Callum. Me and you.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay. You don't sound quite as convinced as I'd like you to.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
It's interesting.
It's interesting, Callum. It is interesting. Thank you very much for that. 0844 499 1000. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. We call you back. Now, I am reminded that I got a strange pulling sensation in my hometown today. A strange pulling sensation where I was walking down the high street and I felt the pull from a charity shop, right? And I thought, ooh, there's going to be something in there for me. There's going to be something in there for me. I went in, there was nothing in there for me. But then I got to the second charity shop and I thought, oh, the vibe is stronger. There's a strong pull. So I went to the charity shop. The CDs and the books were downstairs. I went downstairs, Gatford, to the CD and the book department, and I thought, there's something here waiting for me. Something...
Was it an old woman?
Shut up, man. This is serious. Oh, okay. This is spiritual, right? There's something waiting for me. And I found it.
Uh-huh.
And do you know what it was?
Was it, now that's what I call music 2?
Close.
3.
It was the best of...
Simply Red?
Bananarama. £2.
Hey.
£2 on CD. Best of Bananarama. Nathan Jones, you've been gone too long. Doom, 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 doom. She's got it on a mountain top. A goddess of beauty and love. And Venus was her name. Ooh, she's got it. Robert De Niro's waiting, talking Italian. Beautiful.
Didn't they do one with Fun Boy 3 as well?
Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. That's what gets results. You can try hard. And I remember this CD being released. It was released, I'm going to say, in about 1987, 88.
Okay.
They were one hit off of having more hits than the Supremes. And with great arrogance, they released their greatest hits. And what was going to be their next single, saying this song, at the moment we are neck and neck with the Supremes. This song, when it becomes a hit, we will overtake the Supremes as the most successful girl group of all time. And it was a huge hit. They were flipping brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
But it all ended when Siobhan left, didn't it?
Well, there's two of them touring as Bananarama these days. I wouldn't be so keen. The thing is, you look at I don't know how they do it. You look at Bananarama now, they look younger than they did in 1988. How is that possible?
But they dressed a bit funny in the 80s, didn't they? They wore like dungarees and stuff, and they didn't make themselves look like they look now.
Yeah.
They probably didn't wear a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What's your point? I don't understand. Leslie, I'll be coming to you very, very shortly, so just you stay there. I don't understand why you're being rude about Bananarama, Gatford.
I don't care. Does it matter?
Does it matter, Leslie?
Yes.
Yes, it does matter, Gatford. Leslie and I think it matters.
Okay, I apologise. It matters.
Do we accept his apology, Leslie?
Yes.
We accept your apology, Gatford. Gatford, you were close to death. You've cheated death. You've stared the Grim Reaper in his skull-like face. What was it like to nearly die?
Difficult is the words I'm going to use.
Yep.
But the NHS are wonderful.
Oh, here we
they
go.
brought me back from the depths of despair.
Oh, we love the NHS. The NHS is brilliant. Oh, let me give the NHS a big kiss on its bottom. Let me go and kiss all the nurses and doctors' bottoms and suckle on their stethoscopes. All right, mate. We get it, you bloody lefty. You bum the NHS. Next.
All right, Mr. Mainstream Media. Come on, let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of the problem, not the solution. I was going to tell you about where I was, what I was spiritually like 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, go on. This will be interesting, won't it, Leslie?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, we'll get let Leslie and I listen, Gatford.
Well, that's more the listeners than normal. Cause, it was obviously 2006. I actually was when I first had problems with depression. Because I got my boss noticed that I wasn't particularly doing well at work and I wasn't particularly happy.
Now, sorry, did you say depression or incompetence?
Depression.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Just it could have been.
It's important to get that distinction.
Did I say incompetence or incontinence?
Either does.
Okay, either does. Yeah.
After a time in hospital, I know how I feel. And she said, have a week off, and go home. And do you know what I did during that week off?
Masturbated until you were shooting dust.
And after I did that, I turned the radio on.
Uh-oh.
And I listened to this bloke on LBC.
I can't believe I said that either, Leslie. I shocked myself with the vulgarity of that statement. But it's true.
Please, I'm old enough.
In the afternoons on LBC, and I didn't get it, to be honest.
Was that when Paul Ross was doing Drive?
Yeah,
I could tell you some stories about that.
Didn't he used to ring you on your show as well in the evenings?
Didn't used to ring me. He used to text the people that replaced him.
Oh, did he? Oh, right.
So I'll tell you about that later. Oh, and I blocked someone. I blocked someone today. I can't say who I blocked.
What, on Twitter or?
Yeah, I did. I'm going to mime to Emma off the Periscope who this person is, okay?
Right.
Do you know who I mean, Emma?
That made good radio.
Do you know who I mean? You can type it on the screen. It's, I think you could.
Phil Collins?
No! I blocked someone. Yeah, someone who used to work here.
Oh, well, you've only been going since, March.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she got it, yeah. Blocked on Twitter. And I'm waiting for the what you blocked me for. I'm waiting for the what have you blocked me for. And he'll get a Do you really want to do this in public? Do you really want to know why I block you? I think you know. Anyway, Gatford, I'll tell you, yeah, good for you. I've gone for the full-on block. And I'm going to suggest to Kath that she does the same. I'll tell you privately, Gatford. There's been some shenanigans. Anyway, can you get to the point? Because actually, Leslie, we've never spoken before, have we?
No, we haven't.
No, and he sounds like a fun guy, Gatford. A really fun guy who's got a lot of classic. In fact, Gatford, back away.
Okay, yeah.
Let's listen to what Leslie's got, because this, Gatford, is how you do a phone call to a radio station. Leslie, over to you. What have you got for us, sir?
Well, nice to see you back on the radio, Ian.
Leslie, do I know Leslie? We've spoken before, haven't we?
I think so. Yeah, a couple of times for about 2 years.
Did you... Hang on a minute. Did you use... Hang on a second. Stay there. Hang on.
Go away!
No.
Boom, 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 boom.
No.
That's old news.
I'm getting closer.
I think it's just gone politically correct.
Lost it a bit. Let me go to...
Hello, sir.
Hang on, stay there. Let me go to Plums. Oh, I think I've deleted it.
Doorbells?
Hang on.
Purple.
Did you or didn't you?
I love my fag.
Hang on.
Hip, hip, hip.
Right, hang on a second. We're going to go to an ad break, and I'll come back and I'll see if I can find the evidence. Go. Right, hang on a minute. Let me just plug in. Hang on a second. Leslie.
Aye. One of them came up against me. I couldn't touch it. I was shocked.
Is that you?
One of them came up against me. I couldn't touch it. I was shocked.
Yeah. Leslie, do you know who this is?
That's me.
Yeah, but do you know who I am?
Ian Lee from Luton.
Yeah. Did you did you know that was me when you called in?
Yeah, because I found you on Talk Radio.
How come it's so... Hang on a second.
One of them came up against me. I couldn't touch it. I was shocked.
Oh, I'm going to text Kelly Betts tonight. She'll be over the moon. How come it's taken you... Well, okay, first of all, welcome. Well done for abandoning
I'm going to come back anyway.
Thank you very much indeed. How did you find me, Leslie?
I'm a night guard workers, and, we night guard workers not got much to do, so we search the radios. The television is rubbish.
It's Leslie! Oh, I've got loads more clips of you, and I've...
Please don't play them.
Oh, man, alive! You like, breaking the law. How are you, buddy? You all right?
I'm fine, man, I'm fine.
Sorry, Gatford, I'm talking to a good friend of mine, bloke called Leslie.
I just wonder why you've not got any clips of me.
No, I deleted them all.
Ian?
Yes, Leslie?
The three county wants you back.
What do you mean they want me back? The bosses don't, unless...
No, not the bosses.
Oh.
The fans.
Well...
People power.
Shut up, Gatford. Leslie's a night guard man. He could break your neck in a second.
I'm just a little guy.
Well, listen, I am having, I tell you I'm having a great time because a cup of tea's just arrived. That I miss the people there massively, but I am very, very happy to be here. I'm even happier now I know that you found me.
Yeah, you're saying that you're not as popular as LBC because I think they blocked me LBC for after 2 years.
Well, I imagine that once you found out you'd been blocked, you...
One of them came up against me.
Oh, no, it's the same one.
I couldn't touch it. I was shocked.
Yeah, well, Oh, hang on a minute. So the only reason you found us... is because you got blocked from LBC?
No, I found out
Unbelievable.
about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I just do a bit more research and realize that I thought you only comes on a weekend, but I realize now you go through the week at 10 o'clock. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Leslie, Ian started in March. Where have you been?
I don't know.
Well, that's honest. That's honest. Well, Leslie, I'm so pleased you found... Yes, I am on Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock at night till 1 o'clock in the morning.
And I've got your number.
Kath is here as well. She's not here today. She's on holiday. But
Is she?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't going to let the BBC keep her. Oh, no.
Oh, that's good, man.
First opportunity I had, I rescued her from the clutches of the BBC, and I brought her here with me.
But she's on the BBC weekend, ain't she?
No, she's left the BBC.
So, who name is Catherine?
Is there another Catherine there now?
Yeah.
You're a good fan. No, it's not her. She's here now. She does. She does this show with me.
What about little Kelly?
Kelly's at BBC Radio 1, I think. No, she's at Kelly's doing something else. But Kelly and I speak from time to time. And when I finish the show this evening, I'm going to text her and let her know that we found you.
Okay.
Leslie, it's
I found you guys.
Yeah, Leslie, it's so good to talk to you, mate. Hey, Leslie, where were you 10 years ago? What were you doing 10 years ago?
10 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh.
I mean, time moves so fast. You can't keep up these days.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. It goes this is the theory of relativity. Time goes faster and faster. Leslie, it's good to talk to you, man. Make sure you call again, won't you?
Yeah, you take care, yeah?
Lovely, man. Thank you very much indeed. There you go, Gatford. That is a classic caller.
I was shocked.
He was shocked.
I could take notes.
In bed. So, did we get to the point of your call?
No, but I did, don't matter.
Okay, thanks very much indeed. Callum, you've just been on, haven't you? Oh, no. It's my screen's gone funny. Why has my screen gone funny? Let me, let's try that, see if that fixes it. That's Hannah, not Callum. Okie dokie. Let's go to... we'll come to you in a second, Lady Kadonk. Yes, David!
Hi.
Hello, David.
How you doing, Ian?
I'm all right, thank you. I've eaten load of... I've eaten way too much food. Big Chinese dinner, then a big bag of sweets. And now I feel sick as a direct result of it.
Perfect. You've chirped up from last night.
Yeah, well, these yes. Yes.
Maybe it's going to give it a little bit of time for people to find it.
Yes. Where are you going? I've done it. Go away. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out of here, for goodness sakes. Or as Pete Townsend, there's a brilliant clip of Pete Townsend from The Who, right? And I think it's at Woodstock, but I'm not sure. Someone walks onto the stage while The Who are playing, and he kicks this person in the nuts, and he shouts, "Get off my effing stage!" Like that. Beautiful. Love a bit of Pete Townsend. But it was a bit funny, all that stuff that happened with the computer and all that. It was a little bit weird. I've still not quite got my head around it, but I do love a bit of Pete Townsend.
I remember seeing Squeeze many years ago at Aylesbury Friars.
Yeah.
And it was back in the days when the pogoing used to go on and the lads were bouncing around in the middle of the room and knocking everybody about, and the bass guitarist stopped playing and they all just stopped him, and he walked to the front of the stage and he says, "We are Squeeze, we are professionals. If you want to do that, you can F off."
We are Squeeze, we are professionals.
It was fantastic. The place just went a complete hush. It was fantastic.
Good for them.
And then they cracked on.
Oh, by the way, we can do that as a phone-in. If you've ever seen a band telling the audience off, 0844 499 1000, we call you back.
It was excellent. It was excellent.
Yeah.
But not what I called in about.
Go on, David, what did you call in about?
Well, I was a few things that I've noted. I missed the first hour last night. I actually spoke to you a couple of days ago, Ian.
What did we talk about? Remind me.
We talked about Mike Dickin briefly, first of all.
Oh yeah.
And then you labelled me a flat earther.
Well, are you a flat earther?
No. I'm just open to thoughts. I'm open to thoughts. I'm not convinced either way, but
hang on a minute. I'm open to thoughts, and we're going to have a guy on next Thursday, hopefully. But I bet he won't give me his number. But I am open to thoughts, right?
I've heard.
But I'm open to science, and I'm open to fact. And the world is round. I mean, there's not even any debate about it.
There's no problem with having question marks, though, is there? I think anybody who, I'm not a flat earther. I'm an artist. I'm most certainly not a flat earther, and I don't belong to any societies or anything like that. And I think I've heard you sort of, saying about getting people in. And I think maybe you're risking it a bit with those sort of extreme views on this sort of thing. You know, people that are obsessed with it.
But hang on, what's the definition of extreme view? Because I would consider someone who is unsure whether the Earth is round or not, I would consider that an extreme view.
Well, I mean, a silly question mark I have over it, and I mentioned this a couple of days ago, and I don't know whether you had a look at it, but it refers to the given flat Earth map as is put out there, and was it the UN logo? And the fact that it's the same, and things like that.
But the logo doesn't prove... A logo of an organisation doesn't prove that the Earth is flat.
Of course.
So I consider your standpoint...
Why they would use it, but
I consider your standpoint extreme.
It's always good to have to question things, I think. And I think...
But okay. Why? Okay, so you then don't believe the evidence that NASA have? Are you part of the group that thinks that NASA are liars?
Not necessarily.
Well, because they've been to space.
Pardon?
NASA have been to space.
Apparently.
Well, this is what I'm trying to find out from you. So if you don't believe that NASA have been to space, then you disbelieve the entire premise of NASA. You therefore think that NASA are liars.
Yeah, but that's going into a whole deeper, that's...
Well, no, it's relevant because a lot of the evidence that is cited that the Earth is round is, the photos of the Earth.
Yeah, but we're all well aware of Photoshop and the like.
Well, yeah, this is exactly it. This is why. So this is why I'm trying to get to the thing. You don't believe.
Well, I
NASA.
think getting away from that. I think anybody.
Well, no, we can get away from that in a second, but it's an integral thing, right?
No, more integral than that, Ian. Trust me.
Hang on, David, I will hear you out, but you need to address this issue. And trust me, you can then go off on your tangent. NASA have taken pictures.
I was going to speak to you about the Olympics, actually. Okay. The complete lack of hype about it.
Yeah, you can. NASA have taken pictures of the Earth, right? But you don't believe those pictures.
There's many question marks.
Well, where are the question marks?
One, to be honest with you, Ian, it's not one I've done an awful lot of research into. It's not.
But if you don't,
my opinion on
David
photographs. There'd be somebody else out there with a far stronger.
But David, you're saying you don't. You're saying you're not sure whether the Earth is round or not. Okay, NASA have got photographs of the Earth round. So therefore, if you are unsure as to whether the Earth is round or not, that means you must disbelieve the evidence that NASA have presented.
I've seen the photographs.
Yeah, and you disbelieve them.
I'm not saying that.
Well, no, David,
you're
stop
pushing me down that.
No, I'm not, David. I'm trying to get you to give me an answer instead of all these vagaries that you're giving. Do you? Okay, let me put it this way: do you believe the photos you've seen from NASA? You can't believe them if you think there's any doubt that the world is round.
What I know is, especially through being an artist...
Oh, answer a bloody question. Stop banging on about... Stop being a wary-fairy. Answer a question.
That's absolutely... You're trying to make me say yes or no.
Yes.
I said right from the outset with you a couple of days ago, I'm undecided.
Right, but okay. Well, then address the point.
I'm not overly convinced either way.
Well, then that statement proves. That statement proves, David. That statement proves then that you don't believe the pictures of NASA. So you think NASA are lying. I've reached that conclusion for you because you won't answer a direct question.
I'm sure I am.
No, you're not. You're not, though.
I'm questioning it.
But you're not answering the question I'm asking you.
No, I'm questioning. I'm questioning things. That's all.
So you think that NASA could be liars?
It's not a yes or no. If we have to go yes or no, if we have to go absolutely yes or no in,
yes,
we absolutely dismiss all conversation in between.
Oh, that's utter nonsense. Of course we don't all dismiss. But okay, so you think there is a significant chance that NASA might be lying? There we go. That's not a yes or no definitive. That gives you a little bit of wiggle room.
I think there's possibly been lots of things in history that have been lied about.
Okay, I'm not... David, stop going off on tangents. Answer the question.
Be falsified.
Thank you. We got there in the end. You think there is a possibility that NASA have faked it. Okay,
I'm
right.
just saying it's possible.
Okay.
That's all.
Why would they fake it? Why would they lie about the Earth being flat? Why would they cover that up? To what end is there any reason for a cover up?
Confinement, perhaps.
Confinement to what?
Well, if you how can I explain this? If
you
got
can't.
an animal in a cage.
Yes.
The first thing it's going to do is walk around the edge of the cage, trying to see if there's a way out, see if there's a way of expanding its territory.
Yeah.
If it finds there's no way out,
yes,
it settles in that territory, it settles in that space, that's its space, and that's where it lives, and that's where it settles.
Right.
Now, if this planet, whatever, this ground that we live on, is actually undefined and keeps on going for some reason...
What, infinite? It's infinite.
Then we are going to want to go and find what's out there. However, if we believe it's a ball, a spinning ball, then we ain't getting off.
There's no... No. Okay, so
I'm
you
sure
think...
some folks will understand what I mean by
Oh, I understand what you mean. But so you're saying that there is a possibility that the Earth is flat and is infinite?
I would say it's feasible, it's possible. I'll tell you what is good fun, and I'll tell you what's brilliant with this, because I tend, like I say, I'm not a flat earther, and I find it, but there's
You're
far
not
more,
a flat earther, but you are putting
far
forward
more
a
serious
possibility...
and sinister
Hang
and,
on.
Conspiracy type
David.
things to talk about,
David.
which I don't want to get into.
Hang on, David.
Because it's too damn heavy. But this one
David,
I find fun.
David,
And
hang
I
on,
do- I do
David,
tend to throw it in at
David,
the
can
end
you
of
hear me?
conversations with
Can you
mates.
hear me? Can you hear me? Right, okay, good. We're having a conversation, so you've got to kind of leave little breaks in every now and then.
I didn't hear you talking, mate.
No, okay. Yeah. So you're not a flat earther.
No, I'm not.
But you do think there is a possibility that the Earth is flat and infinite.
Possible.
Okie dokie. And you don't think that's nuts?
Possible. That's your answer. Of course.
You ever done drugs?
It's possible. Anything's possible, Ian.
No, not any. No, it's not though. That's the thing. Anything is not possible. Ever done drugs?
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh, Ian, I'm a recovered. Crikey, how old am I now? 50. Where am I thinking? 1990, mid 1990, 20 odd years ago, Ian. I had a horrendous crack habit, and I broke it.
Did you do a lot of acid when you were younger?
No.
No, you didn't do any acid?
No.
Okay. Well, congratulations on cracking the crack habit.
Because I had a counsellor who retired on the back of it, telling me when she retired that at last, after 25 years, at last one effer had listened.
It's
I'm quite
it's
proud
a
of myself.
tough one. It's a tough one to break, and congratulations and kudos to you for doing that.
But well, back to this and what I was trying to say to you earlier. Anybody like me who starts thinking and questioning things, I think we're led down these avenues by some experience in life where we think to ourselves, that don't make sense.
Yes.
Why is this happening to me?
Yes.
And if you've got the intelligence, which I believe I have, even though I'm drinking a little Belgian beer with a nice little black Sambuca chaser, I'm grammar school educated, and I've got the intelligence to look into things and research things. And I think there's always a trigger that sends people like myself just a little bit sideways thinking. And you will get intelligent people who want to talk to you about this, as well as your flat earthers, as the label goes.
It's really interesting you don't see yourself as a flat earther, yet you suggest that the Earth might be flat. That, to me, is a flat earther.
I'm an artist, Ian. I'll send you a picture. It'll look superb behind you. I'll send you a picture.
Yeah, I know, but I'll say it again, because you're really good at dodging a point that's made by going off on a completely different tangent. It's interesting you don't describe yourself as a flat earther, yet you put forward the theory that the Earth might actually be flat and infinite.
Well, a flat earther is
infinite.
It's become a term. It's a label.
For someone who believes that the Earth is flat.
I've never heard of this term flat earther many years ago.
For someone who believes that the Earth is flat, yeah.
It's a flat, yeah, but there's this term being built up, flat earther, and
yeah, for someone who believes that the Earth is flat,
which sort of says he's mad.
Yes,
you know, and so labelling people, but just because they question.
Well, no, for someone who thinks that the Earth might be flat, labelling them a flat earther, the implication of the term flat earther being someone who thinks the Earth might be flat, and there's a circular thing for you that's going to blow your mind. It seems appropriate.
Well, you could label me a round earther.
But you're not a round earther, though.
But we decide to go with the flat earther because I dare suggest it.
You dare suggest it? Yes.
I love throwing it. There's two good fun things with it, Ian. I love throwing it in at the end of a chat with a close friend where we've been talking about emotional problems and they've been asking my advice and we've been discussing things, and then at the end of it I say, mind you, I think the world might be flat, so take my advice with a pinch of salt. But another good thing to do is to just open up the idea with kids. I do it with my ladies.
No. I actually think that's quite a dangerous thing to do. I like my kids to know science and facts. So I think to put forward the idea to children, David, that the Earth might not be round, unless you're doing it as part of a fairy tale, as part of a fantasy, as part of a game, I think it's quite dangerous.
Game, out in the garden with balls and things like that, and throwing things about. Yeah, it's fun. Trust me, it's fun, and I'm sure.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna in any way suggest to them that there is a chance the world might be flat and infinite, because that is complete and utter bullshine.
Well, it's funny to throw the idea at them and let them get on with it and start working out their own ideas. It's funny, and
I'm
not talking about sitting down. I'm not talking about walking a kid into a primary school classroom for the first time and there being a globe in the corner of the room. I'm not talking about...
Well, no, because the globe is based on fact, so I'm quite happy for a young child to have a globe in their bedroom, and I'm quite happy to suggest to them that, there are some crazy people that think the Earth might be flat, but they ignore all of the science and the physics and the evidence that proves the Earth is round. Anyway, off you go on your round world. I'm happy for that, but I'm not going to sit down and go, kids, there are some people that genuinely think the Earth is flat, and I think we should give that idea a little bit of kudos and a bit of time to consider it, because it's nonsense, because there is evidence that proves the Earth is not flat, that it is round. And so I want my kids to have the best grounding in fact, yeah.
Well, we've opened it up on this, and it'll be interesting to see what people say over the coming weeks and whatever. But, like I say, I'll be a little bit, as you've been advised, I think, a little bit wary of the strong flat earthers, the real flat earthers, because
I'm more worried about the vague flat earthers who are unsure. The ones that are sure the Earth is flat, okay, well, I've got a handle on them. But the ones that are unsure as to whether the Earth is flat or not they're the ones that concern me even more.
Well, why do I concern you, Ian?
Because you are...
Because of questions?
No, questioning things
concerns me.
No, because questioning things is great, but questioning things that are actual fact, when we know it to be fact, that's just a waste of time. That's just a waste of time and energy.
Yeah, but that covers all conspiracy theories then, or conspiracy.
No, it doesn't at all. No, it doesn't at all. Of course it doesn't.
Well, if we
no, it doesn't. Of course
just take on board what we are told and the evidence we're given.
But the evidence for an historical event, like for example the shooting of JFK, a lot of that is contextual. A lot of that is open to interpretation. A lot of that has been covered up. Right? The evidence, scientific evidence, as to whether the Earth is round or not, is actual, completely 100% provable fact.
Well, like I say, Ian, I didn't really want to get hooked into it. I just wanted you to know who I was, because I spoke to you the other night.
Well, and I enjoyed speaking to you tonight, David, and I appreciate that. Let's go to Tori. Evening, Tori.
Hi there, how's it going?
Oh, all right, thanks, Tori. What you got for us?
Well, basically, I'll be honest with you, my mum's a massive fan of the show, and I sometimes sit along with her, and she was pretty keen for me to call in, because I quite like having a debate with people, and I'm not going to have an argument with you in any way. But I think it's quite interesting, the flat Earth concept, and I'm not into it at all. As in, I don't agree with it. But my point was, I found it quite interesting that you couldn't grasp that if there was a flat Earth, that it could be infinite. Because
I'm not. Jesus Christ! Because the Earth isn't flat, Tory.
No. But if you can get past the fact that there is a chance that people will lie to you in the mainstream media...
I can't get past the fact, Tory, that the Earth isn't round. So I'm not even going to begin to... I'm not even going to begin to
so do you believe that every single...
I'm not even going to... Can I finish a sentence?
Of course you can.
So I'm not going to even begin to follow the idea that the flat Earth might be infinite, because my brain can't comprehend a flat Earth because it isn't. And no, I don't believe everything that I hear in the media. Of course not.
No, of course. All I was just saying is, if the Earth is just a name for space in which we were living under...
No, the Earth isn't the name for space. The Earth is the name for Earth. Space is the name for space.
Within the context of the previous caller's theory, though, it is a flat space, isn't it?
But I don't buy his premise is
Well, that's
his premise
fair
is
enough.
flawed. So
That's fair enough, pal. That's completely fair enough. Well, then you're backed up then, aren't you? You know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Earth's round. Yeah.
You've got it, mate. You've sussed it. No worries, pal.
Tori, you're not as good at this as you think you are, but well done for having a go. I appreciate
Did I
that.
say I was good at it? Did I say I was good at it? I didn't ring up to have an argument with you, pal. Okay, here's a point for you. Do you think that Jeremy Corbyn is getting pushed to the bottom of the media because he's not a mainstream politician and he doesn't follow the stands of a normal politician that sings the national anthem and does everything he's told?
Do I think he's getting pushed to the bottom of the media?
Yeah, and being portrayed as an idiot.
Well, that's two different things. Which one of those do you want me to answer?
Okay, well, by being pushed to the bottom of the media, I mean he's being portrayed as an idiot.
Well, then you've got to speak clearer, because being pushed to the bottom of the media, it means that he's at the bottom of the agenda. So what are you trying to say? Just think clearly and give yourself a second. Give yourself a second and run up to it and get the question accurate.
Okay. Do you believe that because Jeremy Corbyn does not fit the standard form of a politician, which we are used to, and because he is not going to conform to the general census in which we have got used to as a nation, do you think he is being portrayed in a worse sense in the media to kind of devalue any points he might make?
To a certain extent, yes.
You do? Because I feel really in quite a lot of what's going on. He said some very, very valid points.
Yeah.
And I agree with a lot of what he said. I love Jeremy Corbyn because I feel like he's a human being. Right. I feel like I can really connect with him on a human level in a way that I can't reach other politicians. I feel like they're too far away from me.
That's great.
But I feel like because of that, and because he's different, and because he was a protester when he was younger, people are basically poking fun at him and laughing at him.
Yeah, some people are, yes. But some people are poking fun and laughing at Theresa May. That's what happens when you're a politician.
Indeed. But I don't think it's the same. I feel like it's actually in a damaging way. I think it really is actually damaging his career.
But what you're saying, Tory, isn't particularly controversial. I don't understand I don't understand the point. That's not particularly controversial.
I've listened to your show for weeks, so I haven't heard anyone say it.
Well, no, because we don't talk about we don't really. I don't think we've spoken about Jeremy Corbyn on here.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure you've been listening to this show? I don't know if you have, Tory.
Maybe I wasn't, mate.
No, you don't even know what show you're listening to, Tory. Then I'm afraid you haven't really got a clue. What was that? If you don't even know what show you're listening to, what chance have you got to... Fair play to the lad, right? He's a young lad, and he wanted to have a go. Kudos to him for having a go, but I mean, dude, you're going to have to try a lot harder, okay? Hannah, Andrew and Jonathan, stay there. I'm enjoying tonight. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Yeah, I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
0844 499 1000. It's coming up to midnight. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Little fella, you're so tired, you can hardly lift your head, but you want to hear a story before you go to bed. So if you'll be quiet and listen patiently, I'll sing you a song that my mother sang to me. Little cowboy, put your saddle in the barn, tie your horse up tight, so we'll know no harm. Put your hat and your gun beside you on the chair. Don't forget you got to say a little prayer. Little cowboy, you better hit the Sandman Trail, or you'll be late for round the time, you know. If you wanna be a cowboy, you better rest a while. Little cowboy baby of the old corral. Little cowboy baby of the old corral.
It comes to something when it comes to something when you go to Jonathan from Swansea for a rational voice and opinion. Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening, Jonathan. You're not a flat earther, are you?
I'm a don't care.
Yeah, good one, good one.
Yeah, I'm actually ringing in to celebrate my victory over the BBC and David Aronovich.
Okay.
Yes, apparently, earlier this evening on BBC4, David Aronovich was planning to do a slanderous hit piece on the alternative right called Trump's Shock Troops.
Yes.
And I put the word about on Saturday on Twitter to prominent members of the alt-right what Aronovich was up to.
I don't know who
David
Aronovich is.
Aronovich knows this.
I don't know who David Aronovich is. I don't know what the alternative right is, but I'm going to carry on with this.
Yeah, well, I put the word out to Richard Spencer, to Matt Forney, and all the other big names on the alt-right that Aronovich was going to do an assassination piece on the alternative right.
Had you seen the piece?
It was a program that was going to be aired tonight.
Had you seen it?
I saw the blurb for it.
Had you seen had you seen the program?
I'm getting to that.
Well, had you seen the program before you declared online that it was an assassination piece?
Well, it was an assassination piece.
Had you seen the program?
I'm getting to that.
Well, no, let's get to that now. When you wrote online it was an assassination piece, had you seen the program?
It hadn't been made yet.
So the program hadn't been made, and yet you already knew what the content was?
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredibly prescient of you, Jonathan.
Well, I was right about Rob Titchener getting stabbed.
Well, yeah, you were right about a fictional person on the Archers pretending to get stabbed. Yes, you were. So you must have been spot on to decry a programme before it's even been made. Wow. That's censorship of a very high level.
No, it's foresight.
I didn't know you were I didn't know you were pro censorship.
I'm not. I just know what the BBC get up to. Whenever it comes to anything right wing, they always have a left wing bias, and Aronovich in particular has
okay.
a
So you wanted this
bias.
You wanted this program censored?
No, I didn't. I wanted to alert my comrades on the alt-right that a piece was coming, so that they could prepare counter arguments.
So you wanted to get this program that you hadn't seen but you disapproved of a bigger audience.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So I tuned into the radio tonight, eagerly anticipating.
It was on Radio 4, right? Sorry, I thought you meant TV.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go on.
What tone he would take.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, he dropped the subject completely.
Now, why do you think he dropped the subject completely?
Because he was rattled.
By whom? By you?
By the alt-right, standing up for ourselves.
Or maybe...
Because
do you know what? Hang on a minute. Do you know what, Jonathan? I can't be bothered with you tonight, right? You are an odious little troll. You are a disgusting, pathetic, offensive, obnoxious, misogynistic, sexist, homophobic, racist, anti-Semitic bigot, right? You're a nasty piece of...
Anti-Semitic, that's a big word.
You're a nasty, nasty piece of work, okay? And actually, I'm not in the mood for your smug, arrogant tone coming on here today. You are offensive.
I'm winning.
You are offensive. You are a troll. You bully people. You belittle people. You bully people. You bully people. You belittle people. You create nastiness and you bring darkness and horror into a world that is already dark and horrible already and could do with flowers and hugs and music and children and laughter, and instead you just bring poison and you push poison. You pollute your Twitter feed with the most racist, obnoxious, derogatory, hate-filled poison that I've ever read in my life. You are horrible and offensive, and I give you the benefit of the doubt. I give you the benefit of the doubt that because there was some form of abuse as a child, there was certainly neglect, and I suspect possibly sexual abuse, but I'm not sure. But there was definitely neglect from both your parents. You don't even know who your father was, and I suspect there was more forms of abuse going on. Because of that, and because of the impact it has had on your psyche and your whole mental well-being, I give you the benefit of the doubt. So you get to speak on here more often than many people would like you to speak. But tonight, Jonathan, your poison has no place in this show. Anna.
Hello.
Hello, Anna.
And what's worse thing is he enjoys being nasty because he laughs.
Yeah. Anyways, go on. What you got for us, Anna?
The flat Earth thing.
Yes.
These flat Earthers. I don't get it. Why would NASA lie in the first place? Because people who work for NASA, they're passionate about their work and their job.
Well, probably because they're getting paid a lot of money. Well, the thing is, the people on the ground won't know that it's lies. They're part of the machine, but they don't realise that they're part of the machine.
Well, that's not entirely true, because people who've been up in space...
Well, no, that's if they have been up in space. And how many people have been up in space? It's not many. I mean, what is it? 30? Something like that. You could easily pay off 30 people to pretend they'd been in space.
No, I don't. I mean, my uncle, he makes parts for satellites that go up in
he doesn't
space.
know that they're definitely going up in space. He makes these parts, so he helps perpetuate the myth that we've been to space.
But we all know it's round, though. Come on.
But that's not a good enough argument going, we all know it's round. Come on!
Oh, you were arguing with the flat earthers earlier.
No, I know, but I'm just aware. No. I'm just aware that when we get this gentleman on Twitter who said he's going to come on, I suspect he won't come on. But I'm just aware that I'm going to have to up my game. My argument that, oh, come on, we all know the world is round, isn't it, isn't going to wash with him. So I do kind of...
We've had pictures from the moon, photos from the moon.
Yeah, but they're fake. Easy to fake.
No.
Yeah, easy to fake. I could fake up a picture of the moon right now. In fact, I'm gonna do a picture.
Tim Peake has been up there, for God's sake.
Well, it'll be easy to pay him off and tell him, to do that. And I'm just doing a... There we go. Look, there's a picture of the moon, just for the periscopers.
Yeah.
And there's the Earth.
Try and get Tim Peake on your show.
Yeah, but Tim Peake, well, A, he's not going to come on, and B, he's part
why would he not? Have you asked him?
Well, no, but he's part of the problem. He's going to be on the payroll, isn't he? Of course he's going to...
your moon, that's a silly little moon.
Shut up, man, that's a wicked moon. What are you talking about? I'm just going to have to up my game a little bit if I'm going to get anywhere with those fruitcakes.
Yeah.
Anyway, these things happen. Anything else, Anna?
Yeah, I don't know whether to laugh or not, but I was behind someone in the post office today, and she was middle-aged.
Yes. Did she drop one?
Huh?
Did she drop one?
Yeah.
Did she?
Well, she was bending, and it wasn't just once. She bent down to get the parcels out the bag,
Yeah.
and she let rip.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Hey, did she say anything?
No, I don't think she heard.
Oh, how could you not hear?
I heard it twice.
Who's doing that in the background?
No one.
Well, then you've just dropped one.
No.
Oh, for goodness sakes. What do you think this is, for crying out loud? This is a high class joint here, guys. I tell you what, we'll have a quick break and then we'll go to Andrew. Let us go to Andrew. Good evening, Andrew.
Good evening, Ian.
Hello, fella. What you got for us?
A couple of things.
Yes, sir.
Firstly, the flat thing.
Yeah, the flat thing.
Yeah. Well, science just disproves the flat Earth straight off, so I don't understand how it's even an argument. Because...
how does science disprove it?
Well, basically, it's to do with mass, and,
It's to do with what?
It's to do with mass and gravity.
Well, hang on. How does mass prove that the Earth is round?
Because when you've got a build-up of millions and trillions of tons of mass, the effect of gravity really builds up.
Gravity doesn't exist.
Gravity does exist.
Well, no, you have to presume that gravity exists for your theory about the Earth being round to work, but gravity doesn't exist.
If there wasn't such thing as gravity, though, we'd all float.
No, we wouldn't. Well, that's a myth put around by scientists. Of course,
so
we wouldn't.
If gravity doesn't exist, wouldn't you throw something into the?
Well, no, but how do you know that? How do you know? Because you've seen them jumping around in space.
What's making a ball I throw into the sky fall back to
Well,
Earth?
it just comes because it's heavy.
But what's your science behind that?
Well, you're saying? Hang on a minute. You're saying there is an invisible force that pulls balls back down to the Earth. Are you nuts?
Do you know what I'm loving about this debate? I'm imagining Brian Cox sat at home.
I'm imagining Cox as well, but not Brian.
I'm imagining Cox at home, right?
Yeah.
Sat at home, now bald, pulling his hair out, listening to all this.
I can imagine Cox flicking away at home. My mum loves Cox. My mum absolutely loves Cox.
Yeah.
Seriously. She is a big Cox fan.
Yeah, well, I'm partial to a bit of Cox.
Yeah,
I've got to admit.
I've never really tried Cox, but we only live once.
Yeah.
You only live once.
Do it before you die.
Yeah. But you've seen the footage of you've got Gravity, because when they go to the moon, right, they jump and they jump really high in the air, yeah, because there's not much gravity.
Well, no, you don't necessarily have to go to...
Because that's all faked.
You don't have to go to space to be weightless, right where at top of...
So you've been somewhere that's weightless, have you? Tell me about it.
I've not personally, but
you've seen...
You can book places that'll take you up where...
Well, why haven't you booked it? Why haven't you been there?
Because I didn't know we'd be having this debate this week.
So have you spoken to anyone who's been there?
Not today.
No, okay. Have you seen any of the video footage?
Yeah, I've seen video footage.
Faked.
It's not faked. Well, you've owned me.
And this is what I'm worried is going to happen next week when I get a flat earther on.
Yeah. Well, it's like these people that say science is all made up and religion's everything. You're never going to win an argument.
No, but it's fun.
It'll be damn good radio.
I mean, I've won all the flat earthers today, right? Because they've been rubbish. But I think next week we're going to get to we're going to get professional flat earthers. It's going to get nasty.
Yeah.
It's going to get nasty. We're going to be at Olympic standard.
I'm interested to know why he needs another phone. What does he think you're going to do with his telephone?
He won't. I don't think he will come on.
No. My second point.
Yes.
I was thinking about what I was doing 10 years ago, and it was, when I think about it, it was pretty messed up, really.
What were you doing?
I'd started seeing someone, and I kind of liked them. So I lied about my age, because you were quite a bit older than me.
Oh, yeah.
So it went on for a bit, and, like, my friends were in on it. Her sister had an hunch, but then, like, it got a bit serious, and, like, she's wanting to book a wedding.
Oh, blimey. She's wanting to book a wedding. Had you proposed to her at this point?
No, she was like, it was like a mutual thing, so I'm like, alright, yeah.
What
And
was the
then
age difference? How old were you? How old was she?
I was 21, she was 33. So I told her I was like 26.
Oh, man alive.
Yeah, she had 3 kids as well, and like her ex-husband were in RAF and he were like on to me.
Yeah.
But she'd booked an appointment, you know, like you have to go to see him before, and I had to take my birth certificate and
For
stuff.
the wedding and stuff? God, it sounds so romantic.
Yeah. Well, I knew it wasn't going to happen because I knew I'd have to prove my age at this wedding and prove who I was.
Yeah.
And this is a year into the relationship now, so I've been lying for a year.
Yeah.
I'd had to lie about on my 21st birthday. I couldn't have a party or anything because I'd been lying that I was 26.
Yeah.
And that morning we were supposed to go to the registry office. I stood in the kitchen and told her I'm 21, really. I'm not 26.
And how did that go down?
Like a lead balloon. Not powered by gravity. And it was just a right mess for a couple of weeks. I didn't hear anything from her, and then she got back in touch with me. And
she wanted some more loving.
She wanted some more.
Of course she did.
More youth.
Yeah, but yes, of course she did. And did you?
Yeah. We ended up getting married.
What?
About 6 months later, yeah.
You got married?
Yeah, but we're divorced now, though. It didn't work out, age difference.
No. How long were you married for?
About a year.
Oh, a long one then, a long one.
Yeah, long term.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I used to come home from work and I'd tell her about little games of cricket we've been playing on tables at work. And
On the tables at work, yeah, God.
And she'd be like, you can act your age at work, but when you come home, you're not allowed to act your own age. I want you to act my age.
I want you to act younger. Older. She wants you to act older.
Older, yeah.
God, that sounds absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing 10 years ago.
Great sex, though, I'd imagine.
Amazing.
Yeah?
But my current wife's actually listening upstairs, so I'm going to be in trouble now.
Okay, well, no, is your current sexual partner listening?
Yeah.
So, that's awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, divorce number 2.
Okay. Let's go to... We're going to have time for one of these, I think. CJ. Yes, CJ, you're going to be the last caller of the night. Sorry, Douglas, I do apologise. CJ, what you got for us?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I write reviews for bands in my local town.
Oh, yeah.
And I wrote a review for you tonight about the show.
Uh-oh.
It's very positive.
Hey!
And I want to ring in and just share what I wrote about this show.
Please do.
Well, tonight I was supposed to be at a gig in...
Steady on, what's your language?
CJ.
Yeah, no, but I think you... Okay. I think you may have just dropped to... Okay. But you've got a minute for this review. I'm on every night, so... Yeah, go on.
But I think you have the potential to become the voice of talk radio.
Oh.
And
yes.
I think it's a brilliant show.
Thank you.
It offers a diverse of spectrum and people, and it's entertaining. And when you start a show like this, it's difficult to start a show like this because people are listening to all sorts of radio stations, but you're setting the foundations for a new show here, and it's brilliant. It really is, and I think it's going to become something special.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, CJ. Who was the band you were supposed to see tonight?
It was a heavy rock night tonight, but I thought, I'm going to...
Nah, forget that. CJ, listen, I've got to go, because we're going to play a little interview I did with Imani Coppola, but call again, won't you, mate?
I will do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words. I thought he did an F-bomb, but actually, no, I don't think he did. But in my head, I heard. It's always better to err on the side of caution in these situations, I have found out at great personal expense in the past. So, genuinely, I think that Imani Coppola is your actual bona fide, proper, certifiable genius. Now, she had a hit about 20 years ago, Legend of a Cowgirl, right, pop hit. And then she kind of argued with her record label and went off and did her own ting, man. She's got a new album coming out, but we don't quite know when. but she's brilliant. Check out Little Jackie song Saturday. Check out The Kids Are Dangerous. Oh, there's all these different songs, right? She's on YouTube. You can spend a great time. And if any promoters can help me bring her over here to the UK to do some shows, that would be great. Anyway, I spoke to her the other week, and Catherine spent an hour taking out all the F-bombs, 47 of the bad boys. But she's, honestly, it's the most open and honest interview I've ever done with her. She would have told me anything. And we're going to start off with the only song from a new album that has got no swearing in it. This is Imani Coppola and FaceTime Continuum.
I'm all thumbs, no action, attention deficit distraction. My brain operates on a fraction. All thumbs, no human interaction. I speak in typos, predictive texting. I spell checked it. I stand auto-corrected. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk, then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk, then you died. Bring your life back. Emoji. Y-O-U. Apostrophe R-E. Your own very worst best friend to me. Emoji. T-H-E-Y. Apostrophe R-E. Predictive text. Spell checked it. I stand auto-corrected. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk, then you died. Aristocrat. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk, then you died. Bring your life back. We defy the FaceTime continuum. We defy the FaceTime continuum. I'm speaking typo, predictive texted. I spell checked it. Asterisk, I stand auto-corrected. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk, then you died. Aristocrat. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk, then you died. Bring your life back. Emoji.
Can we talk?
Good. Yeah, man.
Beautiful.
I'm down. Come on. Thanks for checking like every 5 minutes. So.
Well, after last week, I thought kind of best to check.
Yeah, I really faced. I don't know. I'm going to blame it on PMS and temporary insanity.
Good. Well, I'm glad we got you now. Hey,
yeah.
Listen, man, I love your new album. Your new album's incredible.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just listened to previous albums and I was like, what the hell did I just make? It just doesn't sound like music at all to me. It's more like of a personality, I don't know, exhibition of social commentary. I don't really think it's music at all, but I think it's funny as hell, though.
It's packed full of jokes. There are loads of jokes in it.
Oh, yes. I'm really glad that you picked up on the humor.
It's also...
If you don't do that, man, if no one gets it, then I didn't do my job, and that would suck. I got to get funnier.
Well, I mean, things like Swipe and Cray and FaceTime Continuum. The chorus is a brilliant gag. It's hilarious, but it's also you sound really angry as well. Are you angry, Imani?
Oh, dude, I was born angry.
Why are you so angry?
Oh my God! You really want to get into it?
Yeah, go on.
You really? Okay, let's
Do it.
start with this. Look, I'm not to be disparaging to my parents or the way they brought me up, but it was 100% dysfunction. We did not function on any other level. We were raised biracial in an all-white neighborhood. People were racist. They would, they would throw burning bottles at our house at night. You know, my parents had their own freaking domestic going on, and we had to figure all of this crap out and how to find, like, peace within, like, absolute chaos, the chaos of my upbringing. And it was nothing but, like, I have, like, an adrenaline deficit. I have post-traumatic stress syndrome disorder, and, like, I'm trying, like, the anger, and I can't even blame it on my past. What I could do is I could blame it on what is happening right now and how human beings are turning into robots, and I can't connect anyone because no one wants to connect anymore, and it's very frustrating. I think the anger in this particular album has to do with my personal frustrations with other people, and the stupidity and, like, the idiocracy that is happening right now in the world, and I don't see an end to it. I see that this is the beginning of the end of the human race, and I'm okay with that. I want that. Life will continue without humans, and life will be fine, but we are in the crux of the beginning of the end here for human beings. That's how I feel.
It's getting worse. I mean, FaceTime Continuum. I'm making up is about the whole obsession of people just looking at their phones, even when they're out with friends. They're looking at their phones, and now they've got Pokemon Go, and they're walking the street looking at their phones. But it's going to get worse, man. That's going to get worse.
I know it's going to get worse. Where this is the whole singularity thing. You know, we're merging into robots, and ultimately, God is kind of like trying to make a more efficient human being, and he's kind of the underlying thing. It's not a bad thing, but this is part of evolution, you know? That's how I see it. Yeah. And I go into long, like, diatribes about this when I'm intoxicated and in a dark place, and this entire winter I was writing, like this, just a long social commentary, and I was really trying to infuse humor. But my point of view is dark and twisted as hell. It's warped, and I don't have a positive feeling about human beings right now, and I'm really making an effort to reconnect with myself in order to reconnect and find what I love about humans, because, that's part of why I'm going away to Thailand and Bali and Vietnam. First of all, to have some separation with my devices, you know? Yeah. Because when you're traveling, first of all, you don't have, like, the right phone plan to be, like, walking around. But I abuse this thing at home. I live alone, and whether it's Facebook or Instagram or taking photos or writing notes or writing lyrics, I am so connected to my phone. Right. You know, communicating with people on Twitter or not Twitter, Tinder. That's a piece of shit. Like, it's just I'm ignoring. I'm rejecting myself. I'm not calm. I'm not grounded, and I'm perpetuating the problem by this relationship I have with my cell phone. So, boom, going to Thailand, not going to have my phone. I'm going to draw pictures. I'm going to write in my journal. I'm going to read books. It's photos,
not so.
Yeah,
I've been obsessed with Twitter, and I'm really trying to take a step back from Twitter, and I feel so much better. And I've got 2 young kids, and they'll be like doing stuff, going, "Daddy, look at this," and I go, "Yeah, in a second, I'm just sending a tweet." That's insane, you know, right. and I'm really trying to get some distance between me and the apps on my phone, because that's not real life.
Can I tell you this? Like, my cat, man, when I'm in my mode, all engaged, she comes in, she's like, "Wow!" She does not do this when I'm painting, when I'm, like, interacting with, like, when I'm doing stuff with my hands. It's with the phone. She hates it, and I think she feels that emptiness and that weird, like, I don't know.
You're not present. You're not present for her.
Right, exactly. You're not there, and yeah. So that's a reminder, and as much as I appreciate it, it's annoying as hell when she does it. Yeah. Because it's like, can't you see I'm in the middle of something? But are you? You know?
It's funny you mentioned that we're all becoming robots, and on this album, has the album got a title, by the way?
I'm going to call it Hypocrite.
There we go. On Hypocrite, you're using more auto-tune than I've heard you use before. It's all over the place,
Yeah.
isn't it? And making you sound kind of robotic to a certain extent.
Well, that's part of the joke.
Yep.
Get it?
Yeah.
I don't think everyone's going to get that, because I sent this album to certain friends who are like, you know, they're like, yeah, I don't get it. I like the songs that don't have autotune on your voice. I'm like, but you're missing the point. You know, the point is I'm making a joke out of how easy it is to, like, just, you know, auto-correct, auto-tune, auto-perfect your life.
I stand auto-corrected. But it's great. It's quite sparse as well. Is that's part of the gag, is it? It's because a lot of your other albums, you know, they've got full bands and orchestras and all that stuff. This is all quite electronic.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. And this is kind of just me being like, this is my middle finger to the world. Not the world, the music industry. I don't have the money to do the album like I want to. This is what my budget could afford. So go f*** yourself.
I love you so much.
Yeah, that's it. But it is part of a double album. I do plan on following up with a very in-depth musical, deeper, you know, emotionally, an album where I'm actually singing and connecting with the music and feeling. Because that's part of who I am too. But I just wanted to lighten the mood up, because the Glass Wall, my prior album, is just so heavy.
Yeah.
I was in such a sad place when I wrote it, and I just and it's hard for me to listen to it as much as I love the album. It's difficult to listen to because it's heavy and it'll put me right back there. So I wanted to make sure I made an album that if I wasn't laughing, I was not executing whatever the song was. Or, you know, I wanted to make myself laugh, and I wanted to make others laugh. But I also want to listen to an album that I enjoy, and it doesn't have to be completely sad, but I want to leave some room open and life open so I could find my true musical voice. Like, I don't even know. But I want to make an organic album.
Yeah, but this, I mean, when this kicks off with I'm an artist, that kind of, that sets the you know, the tone for the rest of the record, doesn't it?
Oh my God, yeah, and I sound like that person right now. I am that person.
Yeah.
I'm the artist, like, completely self-absorbed.
And there's the whole brilliant thing where you're going, I'm brilliant, I hate myself, I'm a genius, I've got no talent. That whole, you know, kind of dichotomy of the two extremes.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My shit vacillates, like, it's getting bad, man. Like, I go from, you know, just throughout the course of an hour, I go through a lot of crap, and I don't know if that's part of my personality trait or I'm receiving extra information that most normal people are not. You know, maybe I have this weird radio frequency that picks up on energies that may not be present to the naked eye, but I don't know what I'm going through. But, you know, I wouldn't necessarily classify it as bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
I think it's just, I'm just a sensitive, receptive person, you know?
But yet, despite this, you know, all of this stuff and the anger and you know, whatever it is you may be going through, you're still delivering the FaceTime Continuum is the catchiest chorus I've heard in years. It's a pop classic.
Thanks. I forget what it is right now. Oh, wait. I'm floating up booty.
That's the one, yeah.
I remember. It's simple, yeah. It's really simple and taking the out of lots of things, even music.
I don't understand. I genuinely think you're a genius, right? Just from the first album through to, you know, Black and White and all the stuff with Little Jackie, and then hearing this album kind of cemented it for me. You're a genius, right?
Wow.
No, seriously. And I don't... And I'm going to ask something that you won't have an answer to. I don't understand why you're not like the biggest star in the world. Do you know what I mean? Do you get that frustration? Do you kind of release this stuff and go, hang on, why isn't it not selling millions?
Listen, you hear the anger in this. I've gone beyond being angry and frustrated and, pissed off at the world and the music industry. I've accepted it, man, and I think there's a reason. If I had exposure, I would have to adhere to their rules.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to be as free as I am and say anything and everything. I don't self-edit at all, Even if it's, even if it makes me look bad or embarrassing, I don't give a f***. I put it out there.
Yeah.
A label, if I had to go through a label and, fame and exposure, overexposure, I would not have that freedom and I would not be the same artist. So I think it was meant to be. You know what I mean?
Did you enjoy it when you had that, when you were a pop star with, Legend of a Cowgirl and that whole album and stuff? Did you enjoy that pop star thing, or did it feel awful and false?
It was weird, man, because I didn't know the difference between that and all I know is I was young. I had no intentions on ever being a pop star. That's not what I was aiming to do in life. It just happened. I made a demo in college. I was in music school, around in the studio, and someone offered me a lot of money to do that in a more focused way, and I was like, okay, we're poor, we need money. Let's follow through. And of course, I enjoy dress up and performance. Yeah. I was a musical theater freaking nerd.
Wow.
But the whole experience was, there's so many layers to how it's awesome and amazing and incredible and scary and disgusting. And, even your own friends kind of turn on you, man. And, you get this people, it's like, hey, it's just me. Remember?
Yeah.
And they treat you differently. And there's a weird tension and jealousy coming from every area. Your peers, even your family, your friends. There's that whole aspect, and then there's the isolation and the alienation you have because you're having this experience and you don't have one person who can identify. When it's just starting, you have not one person that you could go confide in and be like, "Yo, this is trippy." This is everything I'm going through. You don't have that person, and luckily I was not. I was into sugar. I liked candy. Maybe I would go eat myself to sleep every now and then, but I didn't go try and score drugs and get lost like a lot of these Hollywood kids do. But it was very isolating, but I tried to channel that as much as possible into the live shows and the performances and just making it as fun as I could make it for myself, because I knew it was surreal what was happening and how people wanted my attention and thought I was this thing. And I was just like, the joke is on you. I don't know how to put it, but I made it my own joke. And I think that's probably part of the reason it kind of fell apart. I mean, I don't know. I think there were a few reasons on the creative side. I wanted to go more into, kind of flexing my muscle as a composer, as a writer, as a musician. And they wanted to continue doing the sample thing, and I just thought it poorly represented who I was as a musician who's been playing since I was 5, the violin. I just felt like a traitor.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a joke. This is not who I am, and this is embarrassing to me. And, in retrospect, I think if I just played the freaking game a little more and not had been such a self-righteous individual, I think I could have maybe made it work for me. But whatever, it is what it is.
You sampled on this. You sampled a bit of the Ghostbusters.
Yes, we did. We sampled the Ghostbusters.
Do you have to pay? Don't you have to pay a lot of money for that? Or have you just nicked it?
Oh, no, we didn't sample it. We didn't actually sample. We played it over.
Well done.
But it had But still, we haven't even asked for clearance yet. I don't even know if they're going to let us use it. I have another standby song to replace it if it doesn't work. I'm totally prepared for them to just be like, And it was total coincidence because they just put out a new Ghostbusters movie, and I was like, "Oh man, this is weird."
Yeah.
Because they're totally not related.
It's what I want to pick up when you mentioned about your childhood, and I didn't know it was so horrific. I didn't, people throwing firebombs at your house.
Huh? Well, burning bottles, like bottles with alcohol and flames coming out, and they would call us spear chucker and and my dad was a lover because my mom's black, and we get picked on not only because we were weird brown people in the neighborhood, we were also poor as and we didn't have the right looking clothes. Everything was secondhand and from about a decade ago, and all these little freaking things that kind of shaped who I was and kind of really forced me to believe in myself at an early age and really channel all of that. My escape was music, and I just knew if I excelled, if I practiced, if I focused on that, not only did it connect me with a source of love and acceptance, because everyone accepted me in music. You're colorless in music. They hear your sounds. They don't give a what you look like, And especially you're amongst mostly Asian people anyway. Yeah. So, I basically grew up Asian. But
it's amazing that from that and from the anger that's in this new album, but there are moments of pop and, pop beauty and enlightenment. I think the things like Over It and All Around the World and Raindrops from the Sun, that are... My kids, they're 6 and 4 years old, and they Raindrops from the Sun. Can we have that Hey Hey song again, please, Dad? Oh, jeez. But they love it. They love it, and they're singing away to it. But these are, uplifting spiritual pop songs, and I just wonder how they come about when you've got all of this angst and stuff that's also fighting to get out.
Yeah, well, there are many sides to who I am. As much as I am angry, I think the reason I'm working it out and making concerted effort to understand it more, and that's my process, is because there is a sense of a calling and a spiritual connection that I have, that I know all I got to do is kind of climb through the bullshit, and I'm willing, and that's my path. But yeah, I was listening to Little Jackie earlier, and I was like, wow, this song is like talking to me right now. I don't know, it's just a silly lyric. Wait for it or something, and it just felt like don't give up before the miracle, all this stuff. And a lot of the time I'm not quite there, and I know that if I create a mantra for myself, it's going to help me. So it's just a way to really just paint your reality or create your reality. If your reality sucks, this is your way to make a new one. And it's been working for me like my whole life. I haven't done much writing this summer. I've been painting a lot. I don't know. I made like a protest song, and I've been writing some songs for Haley Knox. But as far as personal writing, I haven't written, and I'm hoping I want to again when I come back. But maybe I'm done. Maybe I just wrote too many songs in life, and I'm out of songs. I don't know where I'm at right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm just waiting for like whatever's happening in America. Maybe I'm just waiting for it to happen, and I don't know. I just feel like right now is the time to keep your mouth shut and just listen and observe. That's just how I'm feeling. And I'm probably going through some myself. I want to get to the next level. So this is, in some ways, I'm shedding a skin.
Yeah.
The summer has been the summer of realizations and deaths, like psychic deaths.
Yeah.
Emotional deaths. Not physical, but I think this is a necessary process to getting to another level in your life. And I'm allowing it to happen. I'm allowing myself to unravel. I'm not necessarily going crazy, but whatever. I'm already crazy. I have gone. That's not even a concern of mine anymore. Like, my concern is, what are you going to do with your crazy? You can't just sit around being mad, Like, how are you going to be constructive with your mental, your mental problems.
And have you got people around you? I worry about you. And have you got people around you that you can share all this stuff with? None of my business, but as a fan, I'm concerned.
What, drinking buddies? No, I live alone with my cat. I talk to my studio. I talk to my journal, and whoever's ear is around, whether it's the bartender or the social worker at the Actors Fund, I just let it rip. I don't hold back. If I have someone listening, I will. But the thing is, I got extra stuff, and I need extra outlets. I can't put this all on people all the time.
Yeah.
But I like getting interviewed.
What was Bob Dylan like? You met Bob Dylan, didn't you?
No, I didn't meet him. I went to his concert.
Oh, I thought I read somewhere that you met him and he was a.
No. We didn't actually meet. I have 3 separate stories, separate occasions where me and Bob Dylan have had weird exchanges. Actually, just 2. The third one was great. His concert was awesome. It was bizarre. He was doing some of his songs mixed in with Frank Sinatra covers, and somehow it totally worked.
Yeah,
it was awesome. And he was feisty and just great. He was a great performer. He still got all of what he needs to be captivating, and he was actually a little sexy too.
Wow.
But what was I saying? Oh, this story was whatever. I was rehearsing at Montana Studios when I just put my first band together, and we were practicing the Donovan sample over and over, the Legend of a Cowgirl song. And my friend Amanda went to the bathroom, and he was out having a cigarette in the lobby, and he was listening in to the rehearsal, and he was just like, music just ain't what it used to be. and I was like, whatever. Yeah, it isn't. But I was also like, oh, this sucks. This is a sample. This isn't even my music. He's not even hearing
And it's a sample of Donovan, someone he considered to be a Bob Dylan impersonator.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Right. Yeah, so it was a pretty funny thing.
Imani, what can we do? I want you to get that you're just desserts. I don't know what that means, but I want you to get the credit for being the awesome singer and songwriter and producer that you are. What can we do in this country to help you?
I don't know. Should I just move there and someone over there can give me a record deal? And
come here, man. Come here. We'll sort you out.
Should I just move there?
Yes, do it.
Should we start a Kickstarter?
Yes.
To the UK so she can have a career before.
That's what we'll do.
She turns 50. Yo, that's it. When I'm 50, I'm done. I'm done trying to get a record deal. I'm out of the business. Maybe I'll move to Thailand. Thinking about writing books. Maybe I'll try to have a child by the time I'm 50. I'm sure they'll have the right drugs for it. But before I do that, let's go to the UK and
come and hang out with us.
Let's reignite my whole career. Yeah, I should. You guys are fun.
Come to the UK. We'll do some shows. We'll sort it out. Let's make it happen.
All right.
Right, fine. I'll see you when you get back from Thailand.
I'll email you.
Do.
I'll email you some ideas.
Do. I love you so much, genuinely. If you can think of any way that I can help, then, do. I don't know what can I do. I'm just some bloke on a late night show, but I think you're brilliant.
I love this. No, I think probably the most obvious thing to do is do a couple of shows, like you said.
That
would entail picking material, and I have 50 freaking albums to pick material from. I got to get a band together. And most importantly, the budget.
The budget. We'll get to that. I'll pick this. I'll tell you what songs to play. You learn them. You come. We'll sort it out. Genuinely, we'll try and sort it out.
That's fun. I love this. Yeah, that's great. You're going to curate my show.
Yeah, why the hell not? Genuinely, let me look into it.
That's a great idea.
Listen, before I let you go, am I allowed to play FaceTime Continuum, or is it all kind of embargoed until it's released?
Yeah. Dude,
can I play it?
That.
Beautiful. It's going to get.
Oh yeah, play it as much as you want.
Lovely, nice one.
Cool.
Imani, stay in touch, man. Seriously, if I can help get you some shows here, then let's do it because I'd love to.
I will. I'm actually gonna connect you in an email with my manager.
Yeah, do it.
He's in LA, but I would love for you guys to start kicking around some ideas to make this.
Get him in touch. And I don't, I'm doing this as like a fan and, someone in the UK. I don't want any money or any of that. I want, I want this to happen. So yeah, get him to get in touch.
I will.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Hey, how do you pronounce? Is it Ian?
Ian,
right?
yeah.
Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Nice one, Imani. So lovely to talk to you at last.
IAIN.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for all the delays, but
that's all right.
sorry I curse so much. I don't really know how to not curse.
Hey, no, that's fine. I'm just watching my producer, Catherine's face, because she's got to bleep it all out. So that's brilliant. You've given us some work to do.
Can't
So
you
thank
change it? Can't you change it to like a word? Just like give her more work to do.
Yeah,
we'll every time I say curse, you can say monkey. I don't give a monkey.
Just say monkey
Don't
again.
monkey yourself.
Say monkey again.
Monkey.
There we go.
Monkey.
We'll put that in. I love you so much, Imani. Thank you so much for your time.
I love you too.
Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Talk Radio.
We got entertainment, and we're not afraid to use it. Talk Radio.